More and more these days, it feels like sports are losing out to hype. Who dissed who? Who signed the fattest contract? Who got busted for cheating? Lost too is the unique capacity sports have to inspire us, to unite us. Well, great news, sports fans. Sports are still being played for the right reasons. They're still as entertaining as they are character building. You just have to know where to find it. And you only have to look as far as your local Wisconsin high school. You know, the place where the games are exciting, concessions are affordable, and the parking is free. Where the emphasis is on hustle and heart instead of hype. If you prefer real, honest-to-goodness sport played for all the right reasons, you'll find it at your hometown high school. High school sports. Games are being played this weekend at a Wisconsin high school near you. Okay, everybody. Who's in?
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
We are Fox Sports.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers are back in first place.
There's a fly ball. Deep left center, headed towards the bleachers, and in the basket and gone. Bryce Terang, a two-run shot. The Brewers will take that shot in the arm.
Jeff Levering on the call on Brewers TV. Milwaukee a 5-2 winner at Chicago. The Brewers go for the Cubs sweep tonight. Game time is set for 6:40. NBA playoffs, the Eastern Conference Finals are underway with a Game 1 overtime. The Knicks getting 38 from Jalen Brunson and beating the Cavs 115-104. Game 2 is tomorrow night. One other basketball note, former Bucks coach Jason Kidd has been fired as head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, although the team says the departure was a, quote, mutual decision. And hockey tonight, the Western Conference Final gets underway in Denver between the Avalanche and the Golden Knights. Face-off is at 7 o'clock. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake now! Everybody wake!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Diller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got to what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
Zip. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Greetings, salutations, smart, good-looking listeners. Oh, baby, we got you. Today, Hot Take Hump Day, middle of the week, halftime approaching, if you will. You ready to make some adjustments with us today? You ready to eat an Uncrustable, have an orange slice, and get back into the game? Well, that's what we're going to do over the next 3 hours is get you ready for your Hump Day. Welcome in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app, and X, YouTube, and Facebook for you early streamers. I'm Drew. That guy's Bill Schmid.
I'm ready for all the adjustments Kenny Atkinson couldn't make last night as his team just watched and saw their lead and chances dwindle in the Eastern Conference Finals. Drew, I've never been more confident in a sweep after watching how the transpirings in that fourth quarter went with the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavs last night.
There's a little bit of highway to traverse before that could happen. Brewers, meanwhile, one game away from a sweep tonight against the always hated but never feared Cubs. Armen Sarian is with us, but he is doing a welfare check right now on his girlfriend, Bree DeLeo.
I was waiting to see which Bree. What are you talking about? Yeah.
And
Bree DeLeo,
the viral influencer Cub fan, fake fan.
I got a lot of questions.
I'm only tangentially aware of her from last year and her angry videos and during the playoffs.
This is one of Armen's favorites.
Well, it's her and the other guy from his computer desk in his bedroom that does the, oh my God.
See, now don't give it, M-Bone has been doing it for a long time.
So
he's got cred.
Yeah, M-Bone's OG. Now, of course, with any of these situations, you ask, how genuine is this? Now, weren't there accusations lobbed at Bree that she's been doing this for a lot of fan bases? This is a business, right? I mean, she knows how to do it, but like a lot of fan bases, like, I don't know. It just seems
Business
like
wasn't booming last night.
Just seems like she does better at that stuff than he does. I don't know what the difference is, but listen, business wasn't booming last night, or maybe it was. I don't know, but there's nothing better than these Cub fan tears, man, after we win a game like that. So it's been a wonderful couple weeks. And last night was another great chapter so far in this season where the Brewers beat the Cubs again. And Miz, God,
baby.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. So, yeah, we got to start with this Knicks Cavs thing because Armen and I were chatting about it. If you aren't aware, if you were asleep, if you checked out, or you just don't follow the NBA that closely because the Bucks are out of it, the Knicks staged an absolutely epic comeback for the ages last night, aided in part. Now, whenever a team chokes, you can say a whole team choked, and everything is a team effort. But it was 5-on-1. It seemed.
Oh my goodness!
And
dude.
James Harden, who has been playing in the NBA for, I don't know, most of Billy's life, 17 years, was at the center of it on both ends of the floor. I don't think you've ever seen
Just got thrown in the torture chamber.
Remember early in the Bad News Bears when Timmy Lupus was the go to, missing balls and stuff. Well, and nobody wanted to hit to him. Like nobody wanted any Harden. They just attacked him on both ends of the court. And you can, for a guy who is going to be a Hall of Famer and a Hall of Fame resume, is like you go back and think about his career defining moments. And other than news of strip clubs and wanting his way out of markets and switching from team to teams and stuff. And this is it. He's going to be known for this game.
Oh my God, dude.
His team with a 99.1% chance of winning the game with 8 minutes left, up by 22 to, oh my God, they got outscored by 30 in the final 8 minutes of the game.
Final 7.5 minutes in OT. They got it right here. 44-11. And 15 of 21 were the Knicks in that moment. And it felt like all 15 of those buckets were directly against Harden.
James Harden, with him falling down and offering almost no resistance. It was comical. It's hard to envision one man cause you think of the great moments in basketball where guys are goats. Like if guys miss a free throw or if
and by the way, you mean GOAT as
the old GOAT,
the OG
GOAT.
Good clarification.
Yeah, the clown there. Yeah, these kids today don't know GOAT is not.
But like the moments, there's a lot of moments like that. Nick Anderson missing the free throws.
But I'm thinking about Freddie Brown from Georgetown turned the ball over. What didn't he do that against North Carolina and stuff?
Well, Weber, right?
Also, Chris Weber calling the timeout.
Yes.
A lot of those,
those were moments. This was this was never ending. This was a barrage. This was 10 minutes of torture. The torture chamber is the best way to put it,
dude. And then the entire Cavs bench is like, "Hey, it's okay, Jimmy. It's okay. You're gonna get him next time. Somebody go get the guy. Somebody go get him some help. Somebody go put Dennis Schroeder in the game and try to stop this bleeding." Shaq, first question that he asks of Jalen Brunson was like, "So later in the game, it felt like you were targeting James Harden, or was that just how it was working out?" And Brunson, there's that moment in his head. He's like, "It is game one. Do I bury him and say, yes, Shaq, you know exactly what the game plan was?" No, he did the nice thing. He did the customer service. The ball was going in, so I was just trying to find my spot. It didn't matter who was on me, but it mattered who was on the guy shooting the basketball for the Knicks because he was given no resistance. And Drew, I'm trying to find some kind of comparison because Harden was a great player, right? There's a lot of resumes that stack up in the 21st century. His scoring resume is amongst some of the best of all time.
Incredible.
But you try to find his singular playoff moments and they're all of the worst variety, mostly in game sevens. And then that one in game one last night where he just looks completely cooked. And if you're a Cavs fan today, you're waking up saying
brutal feeling.
Okay. Brutal. So now we got to win 5 games. And we got to pay that guy how much money next year to be a skeletal remains of himself out there in the number 1 jersey? That was brutal to watch.
And just the mental battle to come back, to try and come back and play and win a series when you blew a lead like that in game 1 on the road. And a lead like that, I'm not talking about in the first quarter. You look up, just for reference, you're looking up the greatest comebacks in NBA playoff history. And, there's a lot out there. The Warriors came, the Clippers came back from like 31 points against the Warriors in 19, I think. There were a lot of other ones, that not too distant past, but they're all like first quarter, second quarter, 20 to 30 point leads. This was a 22-point lead with less than 8 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
Wrap your head around that. The win probability was 99.9. Just an unfathomable collapse. And the thing is, and you said it, Billy, no one's going to get him. I mean, the issue is pretty much laid out for you here. James Harden is getting, hunted on D and can't handle this matchup. Okay, those things happen. Like, you make a move. You make a change. You call time. Well, Kenny liked his timeouts. He told everybody.
I feel retroactively, I feel much better about Drew Holiday trying to chase Jimmy Butler.
That's very fair.
It
yes.
feels different.
Very good point.
Because this was way worse. This was way worse. So, according to the stat nerds, now James Harden, like I said, 17 years in the league, 36 years old.
Yeah, MVP.
Dragging through heavy minutes, and then they just target him every position because, I don't know, Mike Brown's a pretty solid coach, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Definitely.
He just realized that Harden can't stay in front of our guy.
Yeah.
So let's just get it to Jalen. And it's not the Knicks to go to Jalen Brunson when they need buckets. Not exactly a novel concept.
They're excited for that opportunity.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
all
being
season,
down, so they were like, all right, well, what choice? We're going to take some chances here.
So Brown, they said, oh, so clearly you're going after Harden. He said, sometimes you got to do what the game dictates. We were trying to do the same thing with Jalen. And so we said, okay, we feel we could play that game. We try not to play that game much, but we feel we have a guy that we can play that game in with Jalen Brunson. So, we just like to try to figure out ways to guard Harden and Mitchell, and they got to figure out ways to guard Jalen. But there's no secret. We were attacking Harden.
He's like, hold on, let me figure out how I can do this really nicely. No, okay,
so,
it's true.
In the fourth quarter and overtime, they got him in 9 isolations, and the points per possession is the big egghead stat in the NBA. Right?
That's
Points
their favorite right now.
So 9 isolations, and they produced 1.9 points per possession. So basically, it was just bucket city. So that's an 18. That's like 18 points of the 22-point comeback
right there,
were directly isolated against,
as the kids would say,
Harden.
On his head. And the other couple would have come from something called Landry Shamet. That, I mean, if you're you really got to be a league pass guy to be enjoying the stylings of Landry Shamet playing in playoff minutes.
I do remember when they got him. Knicks fans
here's
like,
Mike Brown also saying, going back to his history, playing Harden, because Harden's played a long time, like we said.
For sure,
36, 37 years old. When I was with Golden State, we played Houston in the playoffs. We counted James Harden's dribbles.
Oh, no.
We told our guys, hey, he's dribbling close to 1,000 times. He's dribbling almost 1,000 times a game. And so our high guys, KD, at like 300 or right below 300, keep picking them up full court, keep making them dribble, because at the end of the series, at the end of games, it's going to wear them down.
Yep.
And they already had played, that was the other thing that people had wondered about the Cavs or thought might be a disadvantage, is they already played 2 Game 7s. So they're walking in, yes, in rhythm, which helped them early, but also playing 14 games. So the question was going to be, would they get worn down? Obviously, that's a factor. Now, James Harden getting worn down is a totally different deal, because he has a lot going on with the honey buns and stuff like that. So they've already played a lot of games, and specifically Harden, would they get worn down? And clearly they did in the fourth quarter. That was an obvious factor for the whole team, is that they didn't have much energy left. But it was pretty interesting to see that on display manifest itself. That the whole long layoff for the Knicks, and then the rust versus rest, and that rest in the end turned out. But they worn down.
The tough thing is, I don't even know that it was necessarily a huge thing of rest. It was just the fact of one guy being absolutely old and out of sorts at the end. And Armen, to that point, Drew and I were joking about it yesterday. Like, I'll be taking the Cavs money line game too, but I would imagine there were a lot of tired legs last night, and instead it was Donovan Mitchell keeping him in the game for long enough. Yeah. A couple of bigs for Cleveland being able to find something in that third quarter, and then they thought they were playing European rules, Drew, and they thought the game was done in 40 minutes.
Yeah. Kenny Atkinson, coach of the Cavs, who many wanted to coach the Bucks.
Many wanted to be here.
John Horst.
He said, that's the story. We got a little unlucky. Played great basketball tonight for 3 quarters. Unfortunate fourth quarter. They dominated us in the fourth quarter. Now, during that 18-1 run, Kenny, you might have thought to call a timeout.
Maybe take one.
There are
Or
some
maybe
things you can do
let's
to
find a
affect
way
it.
to switch.
Yes.
where Harden can get some help with Brunson, and let's find a way to switch more effectively, quickly. But
you can't affect the game as the coach.
The Cavs, the 4 Cavs starters who played in overtime, none of them scored.
They were cooked, man.
They were absolutely cooked.
Emotionally,
and
physically.
Donovan Mitchell, like you said, Billy, he was great. But Donovan Mitchell and Harden, in that 44-11 run, combined to go 1 for 10, no assists with 2 turnovers.
Well, and it's just like they just took the air out of the ball, and like you see teams do this in an NFL game. Drew, we were talking about it yesterday at our Packers speaker series. I don't know that the NFL has ever mirrored the NBA in this way more than it does right now. That if you get yourself a fat, cushiony 2 to 3 score lead, just know there's going to be a time where the opponent has the football with a chance to go take the lead. Like that just feels like how it goes, especially later into the season. And they were going to make some kind of run. At some point, you got to be able to stop the momentum, stem the tide. But these teams just get sucked into it as well. And Cleveland got sucked up in, we're going to try to end the game as soon as possible at 24 seconds at a time. 24 seconds at a time. They dribbled that thing out as long as they could and settled for bad shot after bad shot as Jalen Brunson was just like, all right, give me one of those Amish grills where they literally are just flipping the chicken left and right. He spritzes it a little bit, flips that thing back over. It was right elbow, left elbow, right elbow, left elbow. Sweet. All right, lead done. It was incredible to watch one guy just say, now I am going to take it over and light the whole place up, because that gym was silent for 3.5 quarters. And then all of a sudden it was the Mecca that everybody was talking about it going to be throughout the prelims.
CJ on the YouTube comment, the fact that the Cavs had the game-winning bucket also halfway down and popped out. I think he's right. I think
by Bucks legend Sam Merrill.
And there was a lot of things that had to go badly to lose a lead like that. Not just one matchup, but that was the biggest thing. But I think the thing about Kenny saying that we were unlucky, like I think he has a point there. I mean, you do have to have a little bit of bad luck and a lot of things go against you to lose a lead like that. But nobody wants to hear that at that moment. They want to hear, why didn't you do the things to affect it that you could have done? AKA a timeout, AKA switching a matchup, AKA anything and everything. Maybe telling your team to play a little more aggressive on offense. But yeah, the Knicks did get, the Knicks kind of saved themselves from their own disappointment and their own questions after game 1 of, and we heard the great rapper Cameron Billy say it yesterday on first day. It's like the Knicks usually disappoint us in this moment, and they were on pace, or they were poised to have another big game 1 disappointment in the Garden in front of all of New York City, which they tend to do, but they were able to escape or at least grab victory from the jaws of defeat there and find a way to escape that criticism. Now, game 2, what's going to happen? That's going to be interesting. The chess game for the rest of the series after this, because yeah, Billy, I know your point was, always, money line game 2 on the road team and all that stuff. But boy, I'd be questioning.
I'll be taking a double take at that one. I'll be making a double look at that that investment before seeing that. I gotta see how the next couple of days play out. That's a painful one if you're a Cleveland fan. Luckily, we're not. Luckily, we did get to watch the Miz and company in the prelims in the beginning, and then that dude in the euchre shirt just getting. You want to talk about the torture chamber when that poor young lady was getting the guy in the yellow euchre shirt last night to tell her about the frozen yogurt. It felt like the torture chamber.
Like that meme, like one of those memes. I feel like
Jeff and Vinny did a great job bringing that meme to life last night on Brewers TV, but it felt like a 11-0 game. That was in a 3-0 game that got a little bit testier, Drew, than I think a lot of people were anticipating or hoping it would.
Just a little bit. You got to have a little spice in there, right?
Have some fun. Come on, you got to add some ratings.
But man, Mizarowski.
And that was the night we quote unquote didn't have the. I love when a guy's throwing 1-on-1 and it's like, well, the velocity's kind of down.
Didn't quite have all his best stuff.
Oh my goodness, that is we have a lot to talk about. Obviously,
we do. Yeah. We do. It's plenty to unpack on a Hot Take Hump Day. We want your hot takes. 877-794-1973. A lot of times our little stock bits don't start until 6 a.m. Let's prime the pump.
Get yourself in line. Come on now.
We're out of safe harbor by that time.
You got a hot take? Hit us. 877-794-1973. Get into the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We are here until 8 o'clock for your listening pleasure. And then we're just getting you ready we're setting you up for success for the rest of the week. The Wednesday is the pivotal point. inflection point. We're going to get over the hump together with some hot takes and some fun. Paul Wagner joins us at 7:25. We have Hunter Baumgart's recap of last evening's proceedings with the Brewers, presented by Import Minded. That's coming up as well. So grab yourself a comfortable chair and a hot or cold beverage of your choice, and buckle up for the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
There's a fly ball. Deep left center, headed towards the bleachers, and in the basket and gone. Bryce Terang, a 2-run shot. The Brewers will take that shot in the arm. Number 7.
Oh, baby, Brewers beat the Cubs. A sweep. They're at the doorstep of a sweep. I got to imagine a friend of the program and former friend of the community who resides in Whitefish Bay is not happy with the proceedings.
Oh, no, I can't imagine he was.
After losing a series to the White Sox, after losing the first two to the always hated but never feared Brewers, the Cubs are in third place.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because
Cardinals won again.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
By the way, today's show is dedicated to any smart, good-looking listeners that we may have in Mount Horeb, because that's the home of the Mustard Museum.
Yeah, I love that.
And I found me some spicy brown today to elevate my beef stick in the morning.
Look at you. That's a good call.
Stick. And I'm like, I have this mustard
flavor that's calorie
back
free
in the office, and it's like, because I had this when I was eating some deli turkey one day. And
a little extra shot there,
shot of but spicy brown elevated my morning beef stick
delicious.
Beyond the normalness. So I thought, Mount Horeb. We probably got some listeners in Mount Horeb who are near the Mustard Museum.
When we were young, when we were younger and a little more poor, well, not that that's changed, but me and my buddies would go to Miller Time Pub after like some games at that, the one in
Hilton.
The Hilton.
Yeah.
And they would put these like free pretzel niblets on the table, and we would just put the mustard on there and eat them like that. So that is delicious. I hate to be that guy, but I think they moved the Mustard Museum to Middleton.
I think you're right.
Yeah, but anyway,
it was
shout
Mount
out,
Horeb.
Shout out to both Mount Horeb.
It was
and
originally
Middleton.
Mount Horeb, but now it might be Middleton.
Yeah.
So.
Also, mustard doesn't spoil.
Good point.
But back to us being the Cubs. This is not
back to us beating the Cubs. Brewers have won 10 of 12. They take the series already. Chance for the sweep today. And it's taken 2 weeks. That's what you love about this time of year. In 2 weeks, the Brewers went from last to first in the best division in Major League Baseball, the NL Central. Brewers, we said it yesterday. They had the chance to triple up. They could win the series, move to 10 games over, and move into first place.
Yeah.
Triple dip for the Brewers.
And now you
mission accomplished.
And now the chance for the sweep, obviously, which would be really a cherry on top of the sundae, or the mustard on top of the beefsteak, however you want to put it.
Yeah, however you want to put
it. So it was fantastic. And the thing is, Terang hits that homer, right? And it's kind of like it's not over at that point, obviously. Well, nothing's over, as the Cavs showed us last night. It's not over at that point last night, but obviously you put the nail in one of the big nails in the coffin. And it's hard not to be excited, right? Even a guy like Bryce Terang, who's never excited, even he had a little hop and a jump when he did that high five to the third base coach. Even he was like, I'm going to give you a little bit one. He couldn't help himself getting a big one at Wrigley.
Yeah, he calmed himself down by the time he got to Sophia after the game, as he was trying to just try to stay behind the ball, just trying to get good swings. Just really trying to get it going. That rip and the pose at home plate was maybe my favorite part. And PCA was trying to eye it up and line it up for an attempt at it. And then it just dropped right there into the front row a little bit too high. It hung up and it ended up being, they always do, Drew. They don't seem like the biggest runs when you get the, as they used to call them, the Badger Mutual insurance runs. But when all of a sudden you got bases juiced and you got to bring in the fireman Chad Patrick right after, you realize that you needed that big fly a lot more than you thought you did in a game that went from a 3 to a 5. You thought it was maybe a little pedestrian. Instead, listen, wait a second. Bring the tying run up. Oh, we're bringing the lead run to the plate. Okay, right. Got it. Time to gas this thing up. And luckily, a little bit of a change of role has been phenomenal for one Chad Patrick.
Yeah, thank goodness for Chad. I mean, that was the one time the Ashby button didn't exactly work the way he wanted to when he pressed it, Murph. The one time, of course, won't work every time, but Patrick coming up huge. Had all my buddies on the text group thinking, is he going on for the ninth? Seemed like a Murph type move that he might just say, keep rolling the ninth. But, he had pitched a lot lately. You have Uribe for a reason. He got the outs. I felt confident both guys would have. So that was a great, great spot for Patrick to come in and got it done.
That bases loaded thing, that's your game. That's that's it.
Huge.
That snuffed them. And it's like, you almost wish that they had a little category. I know they have like holds and stuff, and Uribe gets the save, but Chad Patrick snuffed that game and should get like an extra little gold star next to his name in the box score.
Yeah, he should bring that ball and put it right next to the first save that he grabbed a week and a half ago because it was huge. Drew, I actually, and Armen with the extra inning, I almost felt like the plan was hoping, or Murph was thinking, sweet, Ashby's just going to close this thing up before it doesn't work, and the Ashby button wasn't the easy button. It kind of felt like he might roll Ashby for 2 if that thing went smoothly at the top of the 8th or the bottom of the 8th. Clearly didn't, and they had to go and hit a little bit of the panic button. But to see Uribe also, I mean, kind of understated in there with how McGill has been able to resurge after his stumbles. Uribe blows the save and could not land anything in the zone, and then last night could not have been better. That's again, it feels like they might be, even though the pitching's been phenomenal, the youth in the rotation is great. Chad Patrick, that wasn't a demotion. That was an elevation to premium late inning relief, it feels like, because they desperately need somebody else out in that pen. You don't realize it, but it feels like they're an arm or two short right now. They're going to get Koenig back. They're going to get Zastryzny back, but some people think going from the rotation to the pen is a demotion. It feels like that was, no, we need you out there a little bit more than we need you every 5th day right now.
Yeah.
And I love the attitude that he and other guys have. It's just like, I just want to play and just tell me when. And it's like, there's not that ego. I need to start, or I need to get the leverage innings. Like, no, you're going to be a bulk guy. Okay, give me the ball.
Sweet. Let me get the ball and see what happens.
I'll do it. Yeah.
On this team that it's done differently. So that's still an opportunity, even though you're going to be the bullpen. You might get bulk innings. You might get 4 innings. You don't know what's going to happen. All the guys out there that are getting it done. So
Miz only gave up singles because that's all he's given up. Since April 19th, he hasn't given up an extra base hit, 114 batters without an extra base hit.
And really no hard contact. Well, one was like a big Baltimore chop.
I mean, the fact that he had 61 pitches to get 6 innings in is almost inconceivable. And then to know and be aware, like, he was out of gas, and like to not have him go out for the 7th and cramp up and walk off the mound again, because he knew that was coming. So they're like, we give you one. No, just shut it down. And he overcame the adversity, and this is the maturity that you look for with Miz, is that he clearly wasn't happy with the mound. We've talked about it before, like his stride, and we'll talk to Wags about it. We talked to Wags about it last week. He said that his front foot was kind of sliding around a bit. And he just wasn't happy. So there's your he's only thrown 101. Well, that was probably it. That was the contributing factor. And and then knowing his limits of where, I'm cooked. I mean, it's only 61, but I've been throwing hard and getting after guys. So the maturity there. And when David Hamilton boots what should be an easy out, a lot of pitchers like, that's their license to kind of get pissed or melt down or just allow a run. And no, just give me the ball. Let's get on to the next. Let's get the next guy. Like, there's a lot to watch. And it's like, this guy's growing up in front of your eyes. And I keep going back to when we saw, when Bill Simmons was gushing about Giannis, like before anybody in Milwaukee really kind of realized how good he was going to be. And you saw him take one dribble from half court and dunk on somebody. It's like, that's what Miz is doing right now. He's doing stuff that nobody's ever seen, which the same kind of stuff we saw Giannis doing, going coast to coast at his size. Like, nobody's ever seen this from a starter.
21 1/3 of shutout ball across 4 starts in the month of May. I mean, it's disgusting as the numbers stack up. But Drew, the maturity in last year, was it Cincinnati where he didn't get out of the first inning or didn't get out of the second inning? Yeah. And a lot of it was the mound. It was just like, I don't feel comfortable, and rattling around. He's kicking dirt, and you could tell how much it threw him off of his game. Both of those happened in the first inning, right? The Hamilton one, finding out that the mound's just clearly not going to be the one you want all night long, and being able to put that aside and go out and just dominate that's the next tier that you have to go through, from the consistency to the domination of whatever the element is. I'm still going to be able to come in here, and that's not going to slow me down.
61 pitches in 6 innings, 26 in the first.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's becoming, and I don't know, obviously everybody will say, well, the league adjusts and hitters can catch up to 101. Big league, they're big league hitters. They're the best.
Waiting for a lot of them too.
But the thing is, when he's throwing that slider for strikes,
that's the key.
Or if he can throw that mix and a changeup that he can throw for strikes, you got to sell out and start looking fast. And so what you're seeing a lot of times with guys, hard throwers, Nolan Ryan, for example. I'm not saying that Miz is Nolan Ryan yet or should be in the same breath, but just for example, a lot of times hard throwers, they're hunting strikeouts and guys are fouling off pitches and they, will strike a guy out at the end of an 11 pitch at bat. That with Miz, hitters don't want to get 2 strikes. If they see something in the zone, they're swinging because you might not be able to see it. So, and I don't know anybody that can go up there and say, all right, I'm facing Mizarowski. I'm going to wait and I'm going to sit on the slider.
Yeah. I think he's feeding me an off speed.
Because first of all, that's coming in with 93 with sweep on it. And then the fastball is 101. Like you just can't, you have to start your swing physically.
Right.
You have to start your swing. Plus he's so damn tall that his 101 is actually 105 because he's releasing the ball with
the extension is unreal.
Extension. So it's like, it's on top of the hitters right away. Here's the thing. What I'm saying is with Miz, it's hard to imagine, like Skeens got battered around the other day, but it's hard to imagine the way Miz is thrown right now. Him giving up 5 hits in an inning.
The small market Brewer rally against him is hard to think of.
Unless something is colossally wrong, how are you going to square up and hit? Like, the death by paper cut, jam shot, broken bat, he might have a convergence of those. But in terms of like crisp, legit, getting boxed around.
Yeah.
It should be a rare occurrence.
It's going to be a rare occurrence because he's doing stuff that no one's ever seen before in the game.
The time that the rough patch he had last year, there was a portion of the season when he had that rough patch. It was mostly because of the control. Like he was having trouble with consistent control. And once that would be I would say, that would be the avenue for issues would be if he he loses that control of the fastball and the breaking stuff. Because if he can control both, he really has the hitter obviously at a disadvantage. That would be the concern, I think. If you remember going into the playoffs last year, there was some question about his spot, his role, what it could be.
Big time.
Because he was inconsistent and because he was having that rough patch. And I think that's really where it all started to turn around back for him again, was the great performances he had in the postseason. Said, you know what, we need this guy. He's huge. He's been great, turned in great performances. And then he started off the year really well. So I agree with you, Drew. It's really hard to conceive of many rallies like that because you just can't square him up that much. That's just the reality.
He also has the moxie of a dude that enjoys the bigger moment and the bigger lights, and the more lights that are going to be thrust upon him here this year as he continues to break out, it seems like he's going to rise to even more of the occasion, right? Like there's something to it. It can be a little bit intrinsic. It's something that, innately these guys have. Some guys have it, some guys don't. And he clearly is a big game player. I also see a lot of the attitude of gratitude that you desperately need from everybody around. Like you mentioned the Hamilton thing, Drew. That's where you've been the best player on your team all the time. That is the travel ball moment where, hey, it's okay, Jacob. Not your fault. It's not your fault. All right, well, sweet. I know it's not my fault. I'll come out here and I'll just keep whipping and nobody's gonna blame me. But there's a collective part to it. You saw as all of a sudden Chad Patrick gets that last out of the 8th inning. Trevor McGill and Jacob Misiorowski, 2 of the first guys to greet him into the dugout. There's an attitude that you have to have, but when your best player has a little bit of aw shucks to him and is becoming a little bit of a superstar right in front of your eyes, seems like he's taking it all really in stride. I mean, he's been on every podcast known to man over the last week, and he still comes out here and doesn't matter.
Passing telling him he's got a binder of Pokemon cards as tall as he is, and like 6'7". Okay,
that big Pokemon binder, man.
Yeah. And then Buster Olney, Jeff Passan, he's on with McAfee.
He's like McAfee's baseball guy now. It just that's a wild thing for. He's 24 and he's like, yeah, that's all right. And so
he's in the McAfee demo.
There's gonna be no problem for him getting into the All-Star game. There's not gonna be any clapback for him being there. Now the question is gonna be, is he gonna start the dang thing?
Well, that too. I think that's interesting because, and you think about longer down the road, Cy Youngs and stuff like that. It's shaping up to be one of the great battles between him and Skeens. Because Skeens has been really, you mentioned the one outing, Drew, but he's been really good as well. You have Christopher Sanchez. There are other good pitchers, but it's hard to imagine that if Miz keeps going like this, that he's not going to do all that, Billy. Start the All-Star game, Cy Young, all that stuff. I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse too much. And
you're doing a really good job of not doing that.
Yeah, but I am. But yeah. And Skeens has been fantastic too. So that part of it's, I think that part of it's an interesting kind of byline too right now. What the battle shaping up with these two guys in the Central, man. Just something special to watch.
And wild to think that they could have been on the same team.
Oh, man.
They were supposed to be on the same team at LSU. You think they would have had any fun just dominating the SEC?
That's pre-NIL, right? I think. That's the funny. Or am I wrong?
Right towards the early version, but baseball players weren't making the kind of money they're making now.
No, because
at that point,
I'm just saying LSU's paying everybody anyway. So
they're pumping cash.
Yeah, RJ Lewis.
They're paying cash, no doubt about it.
No question.
Straight
All right,
cash.
hot takes. We need them. 877-794-1973. Send them to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. When we come back, we'll hear Hunter Baumgart's take on last night's proceedings at the friendly confines. Our baseball reports brought to us by Import Minded. That all lies ahead. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Got him. It's very, very odd. 4. And strike 3. Struck him out with a fast.
Quite a violent sound of Jacob Misiorowski's fastball hitting the old mitt for Wild Bill Contreras. Brewers TV bringing us the highlights of Miz's start last night.
I envision that going better audio-wise. Sorry, guys. I know it's probably better for visual, the montage of all this.
Yeah, but you could just hear the violence of the pop of the Rawlings into
the old school baseball guys you just got to hear the ball, the sound of the bat off the ball.
I don't worry about analytics. I'm an old school guy. I listen
to it.
Yeah,
that does sound a little different, right? Like the popping of gloves when pitchers and catchers first report. Save that sound for February next year. Just play that, because that pop is going to be better than anything you get from American Family Fields of Phoenix, even though it's more of the ceremonial deal, because that's a violent collision that he is finding each time for the Brewers' former 63rd overall pick in 2022.
So Miz, if not already, is on the cusp of becoming our favorite athlete of the moment, right? Is he going to move into, because we were talking about yesterday at our Packers.
It's a good time for it.
Event that Jordan Love, even locally, people are still like not all in with Jordan Love. They're still like kind of like a wait and see. I don't get it. Like, what more does he have to do? Billy and I talked about it yesterday, and you brought it up many times. Like, go back to that playoff game. What more could that guy have done?
300 yards and 4 touchdowns. No
picks, no turn, not even putting the ball in peril against it. I mean,
the worst thing he did was throw the ball off one of his offensive linemen as he was getting driven to the ground. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, there's just some reason, but Miz, it's almost like with Giannis's status, like he's halfway out the door, and it's like the door is open, and Miz is about to bust on through it and become the guy.
Perfect timing, and you capitalize on the moment, because 2 years ago it felt like Jack was going to take that realm of Jackson Churio.
He still may, but it perfectly encapsulated in 2 texts from the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. Nick on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. Nick comes to us from Sussex. Miz became my 9-year-old's favorite player after I showed him Mrs. Pokemon folder.
That's a winner. Yes.
It's a big factor in it.
I mean,
factor. He's going to connect with kids that way, right?
And then from the Eeyore camp, Armen Sarian's camp, Marcus in Iowa. How many seasons can the Brewers keep the Miz? Big market money is going to come calling eventually. These are the days.
So I thought it was the Eeyore part was either going to be, I was predicting it in my head. It was either going to be the contract thing, the money thing, or one's going to get injured. Like, I thought those
are the 2 things that go side by side.
And that's true. I understand why, but you enjoy the moment, right?
Yeah. But Marcus, the meter is until the next collective bargaining agreement change it. You got 6 years with a guy.
Yeah.
In your uniform, you get 6.
And you might as well enjoy it instead of like looking at it in governmental ways where you're halfway through something, you're already looking at the next contract. Like, look at this one and enjoy the 6 years, because you don't know what the next 6 starts could be with the injury deal. Because I wanted to look that up, Drew, after seeing it. He got paid a little bit, right? Like they over slotted him for the value quite a bit, but by like $1 million. So he's got plenty of room to grow that bank account if he would like. He's a smart financial planner. It doesn't seem though. It seems like he's rather astute in the different meet and greets, the different opportunities for it. And there's going to be some cash that can come his way, but you're probably not going to be able to pay anything of it. So just enjoy the time while it lasts, and enjoy the fact that the Brewers did what nobody likes and manipulated the service time a little bit last year.
Will Miz today sign a 5 or 6 year deal? Probably not.
No, probably not.
His agent would say, no, I think you're going to do better if you go year by year and hit arbitration, keep getting those built-in, those arbitration raises and stuff, and then hit free agency. I don't know what his incentive would be. It's a great idea in theory. Same thing with like Bryce Durang, who's right now in the discussion as the best second baseman in ball. Like, why don't the Brewers just sign him to a long-term deal? Like, because he's not going to. Because he can make more betting on himself.
Yeah, and Drew, the slot value is something that I think is difficult to fully comprehend if you don't go and know like a ton into the weeds of the salary cap. Like the Turang elevations right now would be the worst time for him to sign one, right? Because now he's walking into arbitration and he's going to keep resetting the new value for it. So there's no real benchmark for it. Miz, he's going to make the league minimum for another, year and a half? So if you were going to get, hey, we can give you a large portion of that money up front, and you can start living that kind of life now. Maybe you could it could make a little bit more sense, but that's also easier to tell to a Cooper Pratt than a guy who's already been in the big leagues for a year and is dominating and putting up these kind of numbers.
I also think that maybe it's generational. I have no idea, or something that's evolved in our minds as sports fans and observers, because guys play longer than they used to. But having a guy for 6 to 8 years, a great player, you used to be a significant period of time historically to remember, to have moments to do it, because not every guy was a 15-year guy. Now there's this idea, well, look, it's been a great start, been a great 2 years. We're going to have him 6 more years. But if we can't have him, for 15 years, then it's going to be this terrible, thing. Like that's a good chunk of time you have a player on your team, on your favorite team. You get him in his prime, right?
In his best years.
So,
Corbin Burns, for example.
That's a good example. Crazy. I mean, Freddie Peralta,
guys.
I think
the Brewers got Corbin Burns' best innings out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely agree. Like Sexton, Freddie Peralta. Think of guys like that.
Well, and Freddie, they did get the value for, but Freddie was also such a unique case where he was not at really any point in time. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Thought of as going to be a surefire knockout top prospect, right? Like he was one of the 3 19-year-olds they get in the Adam Lynn trade, in kind of a shot in the dark. Wait, I can do this at the big league level, and I can make sure that I lock in the money now. Let's do it. And what did they buy him out of? 1 year of free agency. That's the other thing. Yeah. How you're able to craft the deal to buy them out of. Even if you lock them up now, you're still only getting 1 additional year out of it, maybe. And at that point, you enjoy it and run that meter up as long as you can. And then at some point, as tough as this is to call, you cash in. At some point, you cash them chips in. You don't stay at the table too long. And that's one thing that the Brewers have been better at than I know this gambling young man would be. And I think a lot of fans would be of like, hey, we're on this heater. Let's see if we can. You're winning on your last day in Vegas. That doesn't mean you extend your trip for 3 more days and re-up at the Bellagio. It means you take the chips, celebrate it, and get the heck up out of town.
I love that. Yeah,
let's take a listen. Armen, let's take a listen to Hunter's recap of last night's proceedings at Wrigley Field.
Thanks, guys. The Brewers get a 5-2 win last night at Wrigley Field to secure the series over the Cubs and take sole possession of first place in the National League Central, and are now 10 games over 500 for the first time in 2026. Drew, that stat's for you. But how about Bryce Terang with a 2-run home run late in the game, providing some insurance, and he was 3 for 4 on the night. And on the mound, Jacob Misiorowski does it again. 6 shutout innings of 1 walk, 8 Ks, now 24 1/3 straight scoreless innings. He's the first major league pitcher to go 5 straight starts with 8+ strikeouts and not allow an extra base hit. He has not allowed an extra base hit in a month and 5 days. That courtesy of Kurt Hogue of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. The Brewers are 6-0-1 in their last 7 series. They've won 10 of 12. I mean, just sensational baseball that they are playing right now in all facets. A couple of errors, uncharacteristic there for the Brewers, but on that left side of the infield is where it came from. Something to watch there. But otherwise, the Brewers are just on a roll. They'll go for the sweep tonight. Kyle Harrison on the mound for Milwaukee against Edward Cabrera of the Cubs. I'll have you for the baseball pregame show on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee and our social channels at 5:30. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. And before I throw it back to you guys, Pat Murphy said after the game that they pulled Jacob Misiorowski after 6 innings and 74 pitches just because Miz said he was out of gas. Said to Pat Murphy before the 6th inning, I can give you the 6th, but not sure about anything past that. The bullpen was fresh, and they went with their bullpen, and it worked. A 5-2 win. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter. I like the personalized stat for me.
I like that. Hey, that was for you, Drew.
Thank you, Import
Long
Minded.
distance dedication.
Thank you, Hunter.
Casey Kasem style.
Hunter Baumgart the 4th. The always capable, always erstwhile. First hour is in the books. We need your hot takes on Hot Take Hump Day. Let's serve them up. Flapjacks, let's get them. 877-794-1973. Send them to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Dolph will be in a half hour. It'll truly be halftime of both the show and the week. It's a Hot Take Hump Day with the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers get back to where they belong, looking down at everyone else in the standings.
And Bowers into right center, a base hit. That will score Contreras. They're on the corners again. Another RBI for Jake Bowers.
Jeff Levering on the call. The final score 5-2. The Brewers go for the sweep tonight. Kyle Harrison pitches against Edward Cabrera. So while the Crew may be the talk of baseball, they do have some competition for that. Case in point, the Red Hot Redbirds. The Cardinals getting a 3-run home run to walk off the Pirates last night 9-6. St. Louis, like Chicago, just a half game back of the Brewers in the Central. NBA playoffs, the Eastern Conference Finals are underway. The Knicks getting 38 from Jalen Brunson. Maybe the Cavaliers in overtime, 115-104. Game 2 is tomorrow night. Coming up tonight, Game 2 in the West. The Spurs taking Game 1 at Oklahoma City. Tip-off for Game 2 is set for 7:30. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy y'all do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Send our guys after you and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Taking no prisoners on a Wednesday. Hot Take Hump Day in the Huddle. Drew, Billy, Armen, bringing it to you from headquarters. And you can reach us, 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com, talking text line. You're already awake. It's after 6. Let's get after it. Send us your hot takes for Hot Take Hump Day.
Now, as Hot Take Hump Day commences on a Wednesday, generally, Drew, the predictions, not what we like to roll through. We have a bunch of different things that happen throughout the night, and a lot of different people will drop a lot of different ones. There's a couple of hot takes for the NBA and the MLB that I want to get into, but did you guys see the video of the young man who had a punishment yesterday for his fantasy football team and had to sit out in his own section of the Royals Stadium?
Royals and the Red Sox.
Royals and Red Sox with the poster boards around him saying "I stink at fantasy football." That hot take, that's the best one I've seen. Waffle House, move over. That is the best
really
punishment that I've seen, bar none. Because not only is it a troll to your favorite team, that you can't sell out full sections.
That's the one for me.
And then you also get to go and hang out at a ball game. It's a lot better than a Waffle House.
Did they pull the Charlie Sheen during the great home run chase? I don't know, it was either Bonds or it was McGuire. So I think it was Bonds when Charlie Sheen bought whole sections of the outfield
to try to catch different home runs
so he could get the home run. Yeah, so
but you're right. I mean, this is a worse look for the organization that they could plan ahead to do this because they knew there's going to be whole sections available probably at a weeknight game in May.
That's pretty much every team.
It really is. I mean, and I think we're, we have those nights too, but I think we're sort of lucky and blessed to not realize that sometimes because Brewers fans do a generally good job. Even on the off nights of filling the stadium generally. I know there's nights when there's almost nobody there. You can do spaghetti night and all these things in the crowd. Absolutely.
You could do this.
Yeah.
You could do this in section 438 in the smoker section officially named at American Family Field. You could find a way to be able to do this.
Yeah,
that might be the best one that I've seen. Albeit the guy that was riding the Zamboni at the Admirals game, rocking it through. You have to start a lemonade stand, maybe walk around with a helmet on saying safety for a bike helmet on saying safety first. There's good punishments that might that might take the cake on this Hot Take Hump Day to start us off. I'm a big fan of that one.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. Well, you know what? It's not that bad though. I mean, as punishment.
So I'm saying you could do a lot worse. I don't have to sit in a Waffle House for 12 hours, right? Like there's good parts of it that you're enjoying a game, albeit, sitting by yourself looking like you're Steven Glansberg.
That is good.
Pretty wild. All right. The seal is broken. Hot takes, 877-794-1973. Right. Send them to the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. Here's one for you. One of the more underappreciated, underrated, and unthought of exciting plays in sports. The Inside the Park Grand Slam.
Oh, hard to top that, baby.
James Wood, 15 seconds of fun, 2 outs in the second inning. James Wood hits the first pitch with the bases loaded, a little sweeper, and he hits it the opposite way. And Nick Barbito, the left fielder, tries to make a leaping catch at the wall. It doesn't make the play.
And the wall wins.
The wall wins. Tyrone Taylor, former Brewer, right, goes to check on him and then, kind of for a second, then realizes that, the ball's in play.
Oh, it didn't go over the wall. Ooh,
okay.
Whoops.
And then by the time they realized what had happened,
that big 6'6" frame was lumbering around those bases for James Wood. He was cruising there for a known power hitter.
The Mets were up 5-0 at that point. Ended up losing the game 9-6.
That is the most 2026 Mets thing you could possibly have.
And they were kind of getting hot, right? They had won 7-10, I think 3 in a row. And so they were, kind of building some hope for themselves somehow, right? And Frank. Yeah. And then it all came down.
Yeah, he and Wood reached 29.4 feet per second.
Ooh.
Top speed. Just pretty damn
I was going to
good.
say, that's moving right there.
That's moving during his trip. 15 seconds around the bases and slid headfirst across home plate. Pretty sweet. Inside the park grand slam. Don't see those every day.
No, and you just don't see enough inside the park homers as not like it used to be a different beast. Maybe in the Polo Grounds days when you had 500-foot fences out in center field, you'd see more. But it then immediately drew, which I think is my favorite part of inside the park home runs, immediately flashes me back and allows me to remember the fact that Prince Fielder had 2 of them things.
That's right.
Right, like that's my favorite part of any and every inside the park home run because it brings up those memories of the big 28 lumbering around at the old Metrodome.
Yeah, the Metrodome.
Yeah, one of the great trivias ever is that he had 2. The Metrodome and the one that got caught underneath the wall at Miller Park.
Yeah.
That wasn't televised that day, I believe. So I don't know how much video there is of that, if there is any. All right, I got a hot take for you guys. Thought about this one for a while, but I noticed it again last night. I don't think there's any question that there's no NBA franchise with better alumni support than the Knicks. Incredibly, they constantly have their old stars at every game. It's one thing to have guys there every now and then, but they have guys not only at the team, the Ewings at every game. I always see Starks, and last night Larry Johnson was there, who a lot of people associate with the Knicks, but some associate with the Hornets. I don't remember any team having this much alumni support from what constantly there, like their old dads supporting the young guys.
You kind
of like that if you're a Knicks fan.
You had Robinson and Duncan at Spurs games.
They did appear at one. I don't know how common it was though.
Well,
it's
Duncan works, I'm pretty sure, for the team, so he's there all the time. Yeah. Robinson's there a decent amount. The thing about this is, and I know this warms your heart. I know you love this.
I think that's what Bulls fans don't get from their great team that they wish. Now they did with Pippen.
Well, their team is ass.
Well,
right? Like, as tough as that sounds, like nobody's coming to watch a 36-win outfit.
Not this year.
And maybe there were a couple of Knicks players. I don't know if Allen Houston was going to a bunch of games during the Melo era. I imagine he brought his kids to 1 or 2. But it's really nice of the Stolen Valor to go and try to grab in all of the excitement and energy because for the first time in 30 years, the team's relevant.
That is true. I mean, they're popping up now. Like you saw Larry Johnson. Like I haven't seen him in a while. With the white hair,
free trip to New York, nobody's turning that.
Allen Houston, all those guys are looking old, but I guess you're right. It is a far cry from when Oakley was there and got tossed. If you remember.
Yeah, it was. That's not very long ago when the owner said, "No, I don't want former guys from the '90s teams in the building, and you're not allowed to be here."
Yeah, I think it adds to the energy though and the aesthetic to see those guys there. I think there's something cool about it. It was always an exciting, like, Kareem's on the sideline. There's Ray. Like, there was always the excitement there. Go ahead, Bill.
It was cool seeing Oscar and Kareem in the 71 team at, what was that, game 4 of the finals that they all came to? I think it was the early one. my hot take would be that the celebrity road juices that place up even more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, like as exciting as Timothy Chalamet being there, and obviously Tracy Morgan there every single night. Spike Lee's too iconic. Danhausen there last night. Cursed the Cleveland Cavaliers on national television. Might have had something to do with James Harden losing his ability to play basketball. But I struggle to think that the New York crowd could have possibly been snoozing through 3.5 quarters last night. But they're the best fans of all time. All I hear for the next week and a half or 3.5 weeks, I think they're going to go to the finals, is how New York Knicks fans are so long-suffering and so great and so dedicated and so loyal and never turn their back on their team. And they have been here through all of these thick and thins. You can miss me with every bit of that. Like I struggle, and the hottest of hot takes is don't listen to people gas you up and gas up New York Knicks fans like the greatest thing since sliced bread, because every team that's long suffering sits back and calls themselves the longest suffering fans of all time. Just theirs happen to be on national television every single day talking about it.
And they happen to have a large pool of fans to pull from. I mean, New York City.
You might have the biggest population to do it.
New York City is a big group. Man. There's no question about it. It is fun in the Garden, though. I'll say that. All right, we have a hot one here from Paulie G on the YouTube comments. He said the Crew did offer contract to Miz, buy out his arbitration. I don't think it's completely off the table. God forbid he gets hurt, but he has guaranteed our money. Then he has guaranteed money already. Paulie, I guarantee you trying to talk him into it like a mom or a dad and say, look, maybe this is a smart, safe move for you to do, and then trying to convince yourself that he's going to think that way. I don't know that it's going to happen, but I appreciate you doing that, Paulie. I feel like he's just trying to convince himself that it might happen more than anything else.
Yeah, that's the way it sounds. Ideally, sure, would it be great? Yes. Not everybody's Freddie Peralta.
No, and our guy Marcus in Iowa responded to our conversation from last segment talking about it, and he said, 6 years, huge win, arguably the best 6 years. I thought it was this year and maybe next, so we're lucky. Let's go. That is the thing. You've got him for a great runway, and for what used to always be the prime. Yeah. The prime of your life is in your early to mid-20s a lot of times. They're maxing out that arm.
Well, and that's part of it. Miz is 24, and I love that the Brewers system now is moving guys to the big leagues at 22 instead of back in the day. I covered so many guys during my tenure when the Brewers were bad. It's like, here's a guy making his big league debut. He's 29 years old. Like, if he's 29 and it's his big league debut, all right, good luck.
Sweet for it.
Don't expect anything more than your value over replacement player.
Yeah, 100%. Don't check that
level player.
Don't check that war. I heard that a lot with like Isaac Collins last year. It's like, wow, you grinded through the minor leagues, Drew. 26 years old.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, for 10, 15 years ago, that was the earliest you were making the big leagues, it felt like. And the acceleration of it, I think, makes a lot of sense. Maybe some of it has to do with the lack of, or the condensing of the minor leagues, but I think it also has something to do with more of just the science, what that is. Hey, let's get the best years out of you at the big league level, and not, for all due respect, the formerly known as Carolina Mudcats. Let's get you out of the Timber Rattlers, and let's get you up here being able to see how quickly you can progress. And I got a feeling that Jesus Made might be finding himself progressing a little bit quicker.
Could be.
Than anybody else with a walk-off last night.
Yeah, that's another hot take. That was the best thing that happened in the Brewers organization last night. The Jesus Made walk-off. He's been amazing lately. Yeah.
The guy that you should be worried about on that front is Terang, but then they have reinforcements. Right? I mean,
that's why you do it. That's how you plan for
the
it.
Pipeline.
That's the design, right? I mean, that's what you want. So.
And again, it's a tough thing to say, but at some point, you then look at it all as commodities, and that you have to you cash in those chips and you cash in that commodity and get the highest value for it. Does that mean right now? No. It means you try to win as much as possible, and then you break glass in the case of the emergency. I like this one from Ryan in Denver on the talking text line. Can we stop with the platoon at shortstop? Hamilton booting that ball in the first cost Miz another 10-plus pitches, therefore coming back out for the seventh. If Joey O is in, it's just McGill and Uribe in the 8th and 9th. How much is that worth? Joey and Hamilton, their difference at the plate is even up, and at least Joey is a threat for an extra base hit. I don't really know about that. He's got 1 on the year, or 2 on the year. Hamilton is thinking bunt every single at bat. Just give the job to Joey. until you call up Pratt. Well, there we go. We finally got to the back end of this. If you're settling on to how on earth are we going to give Joey Ortiz the shortstop job, they've been trying for a year and a half, and he hasn't necessarily taken that bull by the horn. Like, they're trying anything they can, and I would assume, and this is an assumption, the clock is definitely ticking to the point where they're going to start making one of those decisions come the middle of June, I would assume.
I agree. I want to say something to Ryan's point, though, that I think is right, is sometimes we, because we're so focused on offense from Joey Ortiz or lack thereof, and so focused on offense from every position now, there was once upon a time where all you wanted out of your shortstop was really good defense. Right? Those were the old days, right, Drew? And then it was like, okay, anything those guys give us offensively is a plus. Maybe there's an aspect of we don't appreciate Joey's defense enough, because that was a tipping point early in the game. I mean, Miz was having to deal with those things happening around him, was able to obviously bear down and get out of the jam and get that double play, and that was huge because I think it was a double play. Maybe I'm misremembering, but that was huge because that could have been a tipping point. The Cubs had pressure early, and if the cage gets rattled a bit, things could definitely go different in that game. So maybe it is one of those things like, all right, well, maybe Ortiz isn't so bad in there when you have that glove and you have that reliability. But your point is correct, Billy. It's like, when's the Pratt thing going to happen, and when is the clock ticking? Because it sure seems like it's going to.
Yeah. And is it for sure Cooper Pratt, or is it Jet Williams, who, I mean, if you're talking about the offense, it looks like he's swinging a different kind of stick right now.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's good to have options.
And they're going to have a decent amount. And I also think, Drew, the service time clock ticking officially away and getting into June is something that you always kind of wait for, right?
Yeah. The Miz reaction to what he's doing now, I remember hearing that when Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder both hit their first big league homers in the same game.
Great game.
When are we going to lose them?
Yeah.
That was quick. Yes, no doubt.
Like
well,
they just hit their first homers. Like, buckle up. You got 6 years.
That was a fun Saturday. That was a good Saturday, hitting those two against the Twinkies.
It was a great Saturday, except for the guy fell off the elevator that day, or the escalator at Miller Park. So except for
that,
I just remember that because I was working
Eeyore,
there.
what are you doing?
No, I didn't mean to like.
877-794-1973. I actually thought it was middle of the week. I don't remember.
I think there were multiple instances.
Yeah, there have been. Thanks, Armen.
Sorry, I just remember that. That was a bad
inject some tragedy.
It was just a memorable day for many reasons. I mean, that
what
was
a great memory that was of a great night in Brewers history. Oh, but then there was also tragedy.
Remember when that guy got shafted down the elevator?
No, escalator.
Armen Eeyore Sarian.
I wasn't trying to be.
And the whole discussion started from a negative place because it's about people freaking out about losing players just when you're getting it, used to them. Bryce Terang, by the way, is eligible for free agency in 2030.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
You got at least 3 or 4 more division titles you're about to win.
He's got 2 full years of service time, and then next year will be his arbitration trip. And this year he's 1-year deal for $4.15 million.
That's pretty good check if you can get it.
$4 million.
Yeah, you're in a
He's going to make a lot of money.
He's going to make a ton. And the other part is there's a graduation aspect to this. It's like in college sports, what used to be college sports. Hot take LSU. Good work on your college basketball team. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Will Wade. My man said, I'm going to follow all the rules this time. First 2 months, he said, there are no rules. They're just hiring and signing NBA players.
This is crazy, man.
They're like, yeah, we're going to figure it out. We're going to sue and see if we can figure it out. You're going to make a decent amount of money. They'll figure it out. They'll find a way. You'll be able to even it up. We're not grabbing in here a bunch of different slouches. We're being able to employ the best years of the young man and then graduate to the big money contract. And then we'll be happy for you. There used to be a moment where a lot of times you at some point, you're happy the guy cashes in. I watched Willie Adames hit a home run last night. Good for you, Willie. I wish it wasn't your first one in a month. I wish you were paying. I wish you were living up a little bit more to the $180 million. I'm sure glad it's not on our bank account, but I'm very, very happy for you.
Well, he started
a good, healthy place to be.
He started slow last year too. All right. Well, I'm gonna get if you guys don't mind, I have a hot take to get in here.
Is it about somebody else dying?
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe a career dying.
All right.
Jason Kidd last night let go by the Dallas Mavericks.
You've been waiting for this one.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% convinced they got him out just in time, and they wanted him out so he wouldn't stunt the development of a young star. Cooper Flagg. We saw he almost did that in Milwaukee. I believe that. People disagree with me. Whatever, so be it. He was a terrible, terrible coach. Maybe he got better during the time. I haven't watched as closely. I think he was a bad coach. I think he was a bad influence on Giannis. I think we got him out of
Why?
here just in time. I don't like the way he handled me. Tried to make him a point guard that wasn't going to be his best fit, Billy. And in the end, I just don't think he was a good game coach. He fouled up 4 once. No one's ever done that.
No one's ever done that. Yeah.
I just didn't like him. All right, there you go.
I don't know.
Just
I don't know how
in
we can move up from that hot take from Armen, but we're going to try. And Dolphin's going to help us because we've reached halftime of the week, halftime of the program. We're midway through the Wednesday edition of a Hot Take Hump Day. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Dolph is in next.
Love it, love it, love it.
We have reached halftime. The Huddle, the Wednesday edition, the Hot Take Hump Day edition. Continue to send us your hot takes to the NicoletLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. Drew, Billy, and Armen, joined by our halftime correspondent, Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall. And Dolph, you and I were both at the same event last night. I saw you from a distance, turn around, and like a flash, you were gone.
I saw you as well.
Smart man.
You were hobnobbing with some brass at the time. So I just wanted to give you your space.
Summerfest brass or our radio
iHeart
headquarter
brass.
Yeah. They were there. They were there for a quick second, and then they dipped early.
Yeah.
They Irish exited. Well, actually, they Wisconsin exited because our friend Monica from Madison talked about that because it was the same thing at Billy and I were at our Packers luncheon earlier, and it's like they were waiting to leave. They had somewhere else to go, but they were saying goodbye to people and on the door.
Oh, I forgot to say goodbye to them.
Well, hang on, wait, I got to say goodbye to that guy.
That's funny.
And that whole Wisconsin exit thing.
It's a great event to just do a little network. You see people, 3-4 times a year, but they always make that event because there's free food and beer.
Yes, it was a Summerfest preview event.
And the food looked good.
It was good.
The little bits of pictures,
a lot of
it looked very fun.
A lot of the new stuff and a lot of they did the shots, the Mott's shots for a toast of the mozzarella marinara, the little mini sticks.
Genius.
A shot glass half full of marinara sauce with a little half a cheese stick.
A little halfy.
I might have had 10 or 12.
This is a little taster.
I think that started like 10 years ago. All right, this is my theory. About 10 years ago, there was a.
It's your hot take?
It's not really a hot take, but there was a really popular burgeoning appetizer or hors d'oeuvre at weddings, which was the mini grilled cheese with the mini tomato soup. And that became the cool thing everybody wanted at their wedding for a short time. So maybe that was the precursor, that walk, so this could run.
Yeah, they did that, and I think it was in honor of Saz's 50th, right?
Yes,
is that what
indeed.
it was? Because Saz is known 50th. For that.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legendary spot, obviously.
Yeah, my pals Kurt and Casey from Saz's were speakers up there, along with the mayor. We were in the presence of the mayor.
Look at you, had presence of greatness yesterday.
And I got to be, I was impressed with South Second, which is a Saz's venue, right? Is it? Yeah. I had never been in that space before. Really nice, indoor, outdoor, upstairs. It's a cool place. It was a
venue,
good place for that.
Good event. We got to see a sneak preview of all the merch they're going to be selling at Summerfest this year. Some cool stuff. It was cool. We're looking forward to it.
It's a good lineup too, right? I mean, you don't necessarily realize it's going to be here before you know it. With the 3 weekends, it feels like it comes up quicker than it used to, if that makes sense.
And I never thought I'd like that format, Billy, but I love it. I love it more than I liked the original 11 days. I was grumpy at first, but now
I just savor Summerfest whenever it is. You could have it from you could have it from 8 to 5 on a Sunday, and I'd go and
enjoy every bit of it. Yes, 100%.
Or like 2021 when you had it in late September.
That's right. Remember that. So yeah, it was a good event. It was cool to start thinking about, thinking warm thoughts as we are. I mean, we're not just on to May. We're almost through with May.
I was going to say, it's 20 and it's over.
It's pretty wild how fast the calendar moves.
Yeah.
It really is.
We got Memorial Day weekend this weekend already.
That's sneaking up on me too. We just made some plans for that.
Come on now.
Little
black
barbecue.
Grilling, or there we go. Let's ride.
Yeah. All of a sudden, a text came, and my nephew stepped up and decided to host a
genius.
Nice.
So good work, Neff.
All right.
That's awesome.
He's grown into the role. Let's go.
And Unc is going to come over and enjoy all bit of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as there's coolers full of beverages.
Yes. Yeah, that should be good.
Are you a traditionalist when it comes to Memorial Day? Is it brats and burgers or do you go
yes and yes
upscale?
Yeah. I mean, you can throw up a little upscale stuff, right? But
yeah, I mean, like, listen, if there's a tenderloin in there, I'm never gonna say no, right? Like, I'll definitely be interested in slicing into some, but there'll be some
brats, dogs, burgers,
maybe a couple of burgers throughout, maybe a big T-bone steak.
There you go.
Sure, might as well fire something up there, but it is honor America.
I don't think of Memorial Day as just a one-day hit. It's all three, and then like the Sunday, I think I'm firing up a big old breakfast on the Blackstone.
That's a genius way of
and then so that kicks it off. And then Sunday is a fun day. You can drop the hammer a little bit because we won't be here on Monday.
Yep.
We're not working.
That's right.
So you can drop the hammer. So you basically get a weekend with 2 Saturdays. And I think the Sunday before Memorial Day is traditionally one of those sweet spots.
You got 2-day baseball games in a row. Dodgers on Sunday, Cardinals on Monday, coming to American Family Field.
My brother-in-law offered to bring the meat. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to bring some meat over, so don't worry about it." And he's like, and I'm thinking, all right, no problem. And he's like, "What do you guys want? Some ribeye, some New York strip?" I'm like, now we're talking, because I thought you meant burgers and hot dogs. So of course I was happy about.
So you're
that.
the bring the dish to pass guy then. He's providing the meat. You have to bring the sides.
Actually, we're going over to the other, in-laws' house, so we're going there.
Oh, so I heard this and I thought he was about to prime quarter your backyard.
That's what I didn't mean. I didn't want it to sound that way, which would have been fine. But we're going to the other in-laws' house. So I was just like, whatever happens. We'll grill out all this stuff. And then he's like, guys, I'm thinking of bringing a bunch of whatever you guys want. I'm like, if you're talking about those cuts, yeah, I want all that.
Yeah, let me see some.
Did he offer those, Armen, or did you recommend ribeyes?
No, I didn't do it. He threw out those words.
I think if you got bone-in ribeyes, I think that'd be a really good idea for the party.
My brother-in-law, Alan's, he's got a lot. I love him because he's got a lot of Billy Mumfrey. That's a Seinfeld reference. He's got a lot of unbridled enthusiasm. When you start talking about hanging out in events, he goes crazy. He's like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just get 20 steaks. Like, he just gets really fired
I can't
up.
imagine the excitement level that he's got if Armen says he's got an exuberance.
Right. Isn't that wild that we do have those moments sometimes? But I've got to say, and then he goes, well, what about tomahawks? I'm like,
whoa.
Bro, tomahawks
go, Alan. Come on now.
Yeah, Alan, but the tomahawk's overrated, in my opinion. You're paying for the weight, you're paying for the bone, and what's that bone really doing there except for show? Don't you think the tomahawk was an invention on Instagram? That's what I think.
They're expensive, Armen. I don't think they're overrated. I've only had them a couple times in my life. The last time we went to Chicago for Bears Packers, Zabe invited me along with a couple other guys. We spent the night. We went out for and we decided before we went into this fancy restaurant, we were going to split the bill 4 ways. Those guys are drinking brandy old fashions nonstop at the bar. I'm drinking Miller Lite. So
step up your game.
They got fillets. I got the tomahawk. I think it was $129. But I thought, you know what? What I didn't get in liquid, I'm going to make up for in food. And it was well worth the $120.
Well, and Armen, the meat adjacent to the bone is more flavorful. So
I know,
it does
but
add the flavor.
Giving a lot of flavor.
You cook it with the bone and you cut it off and you listen. I guess my thing, maybe
that
that's
juices it up through the cook.
All right, well, it's hot take hump,
especially when you reverse sear that son of a gun.
Man, you just pick that thing up and suck the marrow right out of that thing, Armen.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
You're a big marrow guy, aren't you?
Yeah, we did have bone marrow once together. That was interesting. I don't know if I'm a big marrow guy. I don't do it all the time. But every now and then I'll try it if it's on the menu, if I'm doing something fancy.
Do you substitute the broth when you're doing recipes for the bone broth instead of the regular broth?
Oh, like what do you?
You can buy those containers of bone broth. It's right next to your chicken broth or your beef broth or vegetable broth. It's more expensive, but it's supposed to be better for you.
I don't know that I've ever actually had a recipe call for bone broth, so I've never been tasked with that moment yet.
If it's an extra 20 cents per unit, Dolph, that one's definitely not. You're gonna miss me.
The tomahawk is just a ribeye with an extra just flair on it, okay, just to show off.
Extra.
All right.
Okay, Armen. All right, you believe what you want to believe.
Thank you. It's my hot take on
this. Well played.
Yeah.
All right, so Dolph, there's a new. Billy likes some games of chance. He likes to get some sweet action on games. I hear there's a new prop at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What inning will Cubs fans start saying Green Bay sucks? And any given game against the Brewers. What's the inning that we cross that threshold? Because
over under a 3.5 innings
in. When the Brewers scored in the first inning, it's like, oh, okay, a lot of ball game left, and then they're up 3-0. It's like, oh, well, here we go again.
Fire it up.
and I don't want to say it's going to happen again tonight and jinx the crew, but the guy on the mound has also been pretty damn lights out in Kyle Harrison. So I fully expect to see another drubbing tonight.
Yeah, you just hate to see it for the Cubs, don't you?
Oh, it's just nothing could happen better to that team than the scrubs walk in and catch 3 straight L's. And you mentioned it, Dolph. I mean, Harrison's been as good as we gush over Miz for an hour and a half, rightfully so, because he's just so exciting to watch, so dominant. But Harrison's been just as good. He's almost just as young. And at one particular point in time was probably more highly lauded around baseball circles than even Miz was.
I'm really surprised the Red Sox gave him up. They got him from the Giants, and he was a prize when the Giants had him. But and he showed flashes of what we're seeing last year in Boston, but it was such a small sample size. I guess they decided they really wanted Caleb Durbin, so they pulled the trigger on that.
Those are trades that'll get a manager fired.
Yeah,
trades those will get a manager fired, even though a GM says sorry, my fault.
So we got the Brewers got Kyle Harrison, Hamilton,
David Hamilton, and Drowan in the deal
for Caleb Durbin. The kid we like from Minnesota played basketball with Ben.
Andrew Monasterio and Anthony Siegler were in that one.
Yeah, I really liked him. Yeah, thank you. So that was the trade. So far, is fleeced too strong of a word?
No, I think it's an appropriate word, especially when Hamilton's offensive numbers, even though like our friend Ryan in Denver hit a text line, he's not wrong. He's looking to bunt first. His batting numbers are probably pretty comparable to what Durbin's put up all year.
Yeah, he's so damn fast.
It's crazy because, we love Caleb Durbin. He was great for us last year. He was an exciting rookie. Loved him when he was on the show with us, Billy. Really
Very
nice
good on
guy.
the show.
So I don't wish, I want to see him turn around. I don't wish bad upon him, but it's amazing how much foresight the Brewers front office seems to have in these things. You have a side eye when you're like, well, we've been looking for a third baseman. Here's a young one that had a really good rookie year. And then you trade him, and it's like you side eye a little bit, really, guys? And Isaac Collins. But it's like they just seem to know. I mean, you can't really question it because everything they do is right.
Well, and it's too early to. Same thing with the Mets deal. It's too early to really tell, but early signs say, yeah, Brewers front office knows what they're doing.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Really what they identify guys they like that are in the inefficiencies in the pitcher market, undervalued maybe, or not appreciated, or they feel like they can do something with those guys and their talent that people haven't unlocked yet, and they're able to do it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Dolph, how about the Knicks comeback or the Cavs collapse? I mean, either way you look at it.
Less than 8 minutes to go, they were down 22.
22. Jalen Brunson took over. They just they put, as Billy put it so well, James Harden was in the torture chamber.
Oh my goodness! And they gave
They
50
just
shades
attacked
of Knicks.
him. And you watch the videos, like every basket, like Jalen Brunson scored every time, and Harden was basically falling down. A folding chair would have offered more resistance.
Right.
Yes, 100%.
Surprise.
Yeah.
The beard. He's never been first team all NBA defense, has he?
No.
Did anybody see this coming from Jalen Brunson? I know he's been a superstar for a while now, but he was really good at Villanova. Chicago area kid, by the way, grew up in the Midwest.
He went to Stevenson, right?
Yeah.
By Vernon Hills. Yeah.
Yeah. And now has become this unbelievable superstar in the NBA, playing in the world's biggest media market.
Crazy.
Well, he's arguably the most famous Knick right now, of all time, and he hasn't even won it yet.
Of all time,
he hasn't even won it yet, just because of how exciting the runs have been for him. Because it was a little bit out of the blue. I mean, sure, there was some foresight that he was going to be a really, really good player when he came from Dallas, but I don't think even his dad on the coaching staff could have anticipated.
I think people looked at him as like, this is a really, really good number 2 option. This can be maybe a Jalen Murray, but he's really evolved into much more than that,
I saw him tear up the Bucks this year, and it's like you watch him on any given night, you say, oh, that guy looks like the MVP, right? Well, he did last night.
Yeah, he definitely did last night.
And it's like, I don't know about sustaining it, but he's in the discussion.
Seems like he has a very good head about him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for sure. And that's the part of it. There's such a confidence and a good way of being able to exude it that he's a ridiculously likable guy. Even though I think the Knicks are extremely unlikable, he's a hard guy to cheer against. And man, when he got cooking last night, you just knew it was over because every time he could smile and salivate, because Harden was standing right there. They just put up on TV that it's the 6th game this playoffs that Harden has had more turnovers than field goals. Wow. I believe he has over 30 of those in his playoff career. Played a long time, right? Played 17
years. He's 37.
Lived in the playoffs because he walked in with those OKC teams that were going to the finals.
That's the closest early in his career that he's going to come to a ring. He's going to, and you hear it with quarterbacks all the time. Like, the clock is ticking. Why isn't he going to get his ring? Like, Harden's going to fail his whole career and not win a ring. He's going to be in the discussion of one of the best players, scorers ever, with no championship,
with
validation,
up 3-1 against one of the best teams of all time, and another epic collapse.
Yeah,
right there.
A lot of playoff failure for him, and it's been partly the teams he's been on, but obviously you're part of that. And something like last night's going to hang with you. That's just really bad.
That Oklahoma City team is the team we always look to. That you just scratch your head how they didn't. I guess they were young at that time, but KD, Westbrook, Harden, Serge Ibaka.
Serge was on that team too.
Yeah. They were close too. They were close, but couldn't do it. As Billy said,
I'll be hammering the Oklahoma City Thunder though tonight. I think that's a market correction feel for that Spurs. They went and got what they needed to do in game 1. I think this is where OKC finds their way, find some water.
I think you're right, and whoever comes out of the East,
good luck.
Good luck to you. Yeah.
Good luck. Exactly. That's
Thunder get it done on both sides of the court.
Yeah, that's good. Good run today, Dolph. Thank you for dropping on by. Appreciate it. And since you're hobnobbing and out last night at an event, will you be attending the Yelich charity concert with Jake Owen on Thursday night? Because tickets are still available if anybody's interested.
Yeah, I can. I have prior obligations. I wish I could. I've never been to that event. I would love to get there sometime.
I went last year. We actually interviewed Christian at that last year.
Who was the headliner last year?
Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh,
That's what it was.
good-
Yes, I was
amazing.
going to say it was definitely a
Yeah.
90s one.
Yeah. So if you're interested in tickets, they are available. It's the Yelly22concert.com.
At the new venue downtown, Landmark
Yeah.
Credit Union Live.
Provided there's no fire alarm.
Right. Shannon, my partner down the hall, went Sunday night to a different show, and she said it was wonderful. And there were no fire alarms going on.
No fire alarm.
56 degrees. It's going to be tough for a barefoot blue jean night, but it'll be a good one. It'll be a good one.
Yeah, not in Milwaukee. It won't be tough.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's true. Absolutely. Thanks, Dolph.
Thanks,
Appreciate it. Halftime's over. Make our adjustments. Get back to some hot takes. 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talk. And text line, you're in the huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
You die.
The 1-1. He swings, lifts it, left field, deep, ball game. It is a ground rule walk-off double, and the Shuckers win 4-3. What can he do?
Jesus Mate with a walk-off ground rule double for the Shuckers of Biloxi.
Rip that son of a gun. That is a sweet, sweet swing from that young man. Goodness gracious.
I also want to shout out, that was Javik. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, unless it's Javik. I don't know. Javik Blake, the lead play-by-play broadcaster for the Shuckers, AA affiliate of the Brewers. He's also the 2025 MILB Future Star of the Year.
All right.
And there you go. So, hey, we got stars all over the system, so there you go.
Love it. Love it. 877-794-1973 is the NicoletLaw.com talking text line for your hot takes. Hot Take Hump Day. Amidst all the graduation pictures that hit us, like the college graduation, that was the first wave. Then we're going to get the high school graduation pictures.
Yes, true.
All the girls in their little short white dresses. For some reason, that's a thing. I don't know.
Under the long gown that goes down all the way to your knees.
I missed the memo on that, but it's been a thing. I saw it with my kid and whatever. Amidst that, I did see, it's tournament time and people are getting whether it's soccer, softball, baseball. And I saw a friend's kids, they won a tournament. And I don't know if it was a state tournament or regional qualifier. It was just a tournament, a weekend tournament, a weekend recreational tournament. And the kids were all flashing their, not trophies, not ribbons, their championship rings.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
gosh. The prize for winning this tournament now is basically like, when the Bucks gave away their fake championship ring.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the new trophy, ribbon, medal. You get yourself a championship ring from the tournament. Like, when's a kid going to wear that?
Well, never a ring from a travel ball.
That's awesome.
And the parents aren't paying enough to drive around to Cincinnati and Charlotte and Norfolk and all these places, and they're getting rings. Come on, Billy. Are they getting rings now?
They're getting rings.
Is this what we're doing with youth sports here? Rings?
I mean, I was looking up the rings. Like
they don't have to play. I know this is crazy for you. They don't have to, right? I like it. It blows your mind. One, a lot less clutter. A lot less clutter than the different trophies that are going to litter all over your bed. I'm thinking this is a much cleaner display in the bed. That is a wild delivery. I love it though. That is way cooler than any different participation trophy you're getting.
I don't know
the
what
title ring.
Please,
can't imagine
I don't
when
know what
that
trophies
happened.
cost in bulk, but I did a quick and dirty Google search, and you can order like these championship type rings for like $7 a piece.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that.
Yeah. Crazy idea. I don't think Justin's is making these, Armen.
I don't know, Billy. It's private equity's involved now.
There's a website called extrainningssoftball.com.
All right.
And they just, over the winter, they ran an article that said, are too many tournament rings hurting player development?
Ooh.
Walk into almost any travel softball tournament today, you'll see teams celebrating with oversized rings, glittering medals, customized banners, and full championship photo shoots. What once was reserved for the biggest, most meaningful events has now become a routine part of weekend play.
Yeah, a lot of it is these individual tournaments want to parade themselves as being the most important one.
The question is, have rings become a symbol of success or a substitute for development? How is the culture of these rewards? How has it evolved, and what does it mean for athletes in today's travel ball world? I mean, doesn't it cheapen it? Like when you get a ring for winning some jabron 8-team, double A limb thing, you get a ring and you celebrate like you won the damn World Series.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't the same thing when you got a medal, right? Like, I guess I don't know. I'm also in like the front end of the participation trophy era, right? Like, I was in the beginning of you finished third place in the tournament. Somebody was going to get something, and I think sometimes we overblow the value that youngsters are putting in their heads, or don't put enough onus on the adults that are ultimately driving the young kid home of understanding what the level of excitement is, or what the level of accomplishment can be. Like, the parents are also the ones that ultimately are signing up for all of this, right? Like, so I struggle to blame the kids for it. I agree.
Yeah.
But at some point you say, like, does it stunt development to change this? I don't know. I think my group has turned out okay, right? Like I think we're trending in an okay direction. Some people would argue otherwise. But there is always going to be a sliding scale to it. But if it wasn't a championship ring, then somebody was going to come up with a championship belt, right? Or somebody was going to give a new championship T-shirt, right? Like it'll all have its phase. But right now, when you got songs talking about rings and not medals, like in an Olympic year, then that's gonna be the difference.
You know what? The other thing is, even my generation, they were starting to blame with the participation trophy era. And back then it was like, wow, I get a trophy. I get something to hold up. Maybe it is that set of parents now that are growing older that assign more into it than the kids might just say this is a fun trinket, but maybe that's not stunting their growth in terms of thinking it means more than it should because it's just something fun like a keepsake, like a souvenir. Maybe it's the parents that are assigning more. So I don't want to dump on the kids. I don't.
Well,
think
at some point, the parents are designing the turn. There is some kind of adult that is outlining and ordering all of it, right? So like that's the part of it, but it comes to like. I mean, you're saying, do the kids really need this and all the travel ball? But a lot of it is a status that parents want to put of look at what team Johnny's on.
I'm with you on that.
Look at what club they're in. Look at what they got this weekend. So I mean, I get it, but Derek in Whitewater had a funny one. He goes, "What's worse than the teams posing with the rings is that they don't mention that they won the silver bracket where all the B or C teams play."
I guarantee they can't all be winning. All my friends that have kids are posting about every weekend their team won the tournament. Is somebody's got to be losing these tournaments because it seems like everybody's winning these tournaments.
Oh
man,
it is. It's
the life
right.
we live.
The life we live. All right, 877-794-1973. You got some fun awards to get to as we move forward. This portion of the program has been brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Check them out at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Do it as a gift to yourself going into Memorial Day weekend. Seize the summer, and Game Day Men's Health can help you. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers are back in first place.
There's a fly ball. Deep left center, headed towards the bleachers, and in the basket and gone. Bryce Terang, a 2-run shot. The Brewers will take that shot in the arm.
Jeff Levering on the call on Brewers TV. Milwaukee a 5-2 winner at Chicago. The Brewers go for the Cubs sweep tonight. Game time is set for 6:40. NBA playoffs, the Eastern Conference Finals are underway with a Game 1 overtime. The Knicks getting 38 from Jalen Brunson and beating the Cavs 115-104. Game 2 is tomorrow night. One other basketball note, former Bucks coach Jason Kidd has been fired as head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, although the team says the departure was a, quote, mutual decision. And hockey tonight, the Western Conference Final gets underway in Denver between the Avalanche and the Golden Knights. Face-off is at 7 o'clock. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to down to. Let's go out and kick some tape. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Let's get after it on a Wednesday. Welcome in or welcome back, depending on when your alarm goes off in the morning. It's 7:02 on this Wednesday, May 20th in the good land. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, broadcasting live locally, Milwaukee, 9:20 a.m., 10:70 a.m. in Madison, our friends over there. Worldwide on the iHeartRadio app, just search Fox Sports Radio 920 or 1070. And, of course, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Hot Take Hump Day. We want your opinions, hot takes, be they about the Brewers, the Cubs, the Miz, Bryce Terang. It can be about James Harden and the colossal collapse. Was it a great comeback by the Knicks or was it the choke of all time by the Cavs? They're wondering if this is the worst loss in Cavs history. Now, LeBron's last game before he left, like the first time he was against Boston.
Sure. That would be a good one.
There was the Jordan game when Craig Elo helped watched him Jordan make the shot. They've had some tough losses.
First round.
They've had some losses,
round, yeah.
some brutal losses, like against Golden State in the finals. Remember?
A lot of tough losses.
A lot of tough losses to Golden State. But this one, when you're up 22, now granted, it was game one of the East Conference Finals, and
Yeah, this would go up with Drew the J.R. Smith forgetting how much time was left on the clock and not knowing the score because they were about to steal game one of that NBA Finals and resultingly so, I believe LeBron, allegedly or not allegedly broke his hand after the game. And the series was basically over at that point. This would have to be it because now you got to win 5 games. Right, you had that game one, and now you got to beat a team that you were a resounding underdog against 5 times in 7 games. That's something that you just can't give up, and especially when it all ties together. Of wait, we got to pay this guy how much money? How many times did they score against him in the fourth quarter? Oh, so they were only going against James Harden. It wasn't anything to do with our big guys in the middle, and our former Defensive Player of the Year Evan Mobley couldn't do anything to stop it. That's a sight for sore eyes when one man is the target and had no response for it.
There's the duality of X/Twitter, and when you get opinions that seem opposed but aren't, like for example, a fella named Sam Quinn from CBS Sports.
Yes.
Yeah. This has been a potentially franchise-altering debacle for Cleveland.
Sure.
This is I don't know how you recover from this. All the fake trade stuff that was bubbling in the first 2 rounds is back on the table kind of loss.
Yeah.
To which someone replied, there are at least 60 losses every postseason. The collective crash outs that happen after them will warp your whole analysis of a team or a player's situation. Both things are true.
I was going to say both things can be true, and you kind of forget about how difficult it is, Drew, to compartmentalize it in the playoffs. But every year we almost have to retrain our minds of how the lifetime of these series go. There was not a whole lot of folks that down 2-0 against the Brooklyn Nets, as thoroughly dominated as the Bucks were in those first 2 games, felt very great going back for the grudging game 3 that ended up 86-84.
Fantastic point, Billy.
in that game 3. Like, and then after game 5, where you're up 17 or 18 in the third quarter and KD just single-handedly willed them past you, there's a lot of doubt that creeps in. But I am kind of on the side where, like, I don't know how you go into the offseason with that being one of the final tastes in your mouth, Drew, and say, yeah, 1 or 2 pieces and we're in.
Right.
1 or 2 pieces in and doesn't mean subtracting number 1.
I used a variation of this riff yesterday at our Packers speaker series. Shout out to everybody who showed up at the Harley Davidson complex over there, Harley Davidson Museum complex. We were in the garage, I think it's called.
Yeah, a great spot.
Good venue. And saw our friends from the Packers, got to hang out with Wayne Larrivee. Wes Hodkowitz, one of our favorite people on the planet.
So good, dude.
Had so much fun.
I didn't realize he was ripping shots and little shooters apparently with Luke Combs. Big time Wes.
He's a cool guy now.
Wayne throwing him under the bus. But I said something about that because what happened with the Packers and the way people view the Packers going into this season, 6 draft picks, and they have so many holes and they're so awful because of the way last year finished. Well, their 4 or 5 best guys were out. It was awful, but that has changed the perception for a lot of people of how good the Packers were when Micah Parsons got hurt. 9-3-1, ahead at the number 1 seed on the road in the second half, and then the wheels fell off. Was it atrocious? Yes. I'm not excusing anything about it. It was atrocious, train wreck. The blowing the leads against the Bears, those losses of the Bears were horrible, and obviously I'm not condoning it. But I'm saying that has warped people's perceptions of where this franchise is in terms of its talent and its standing in the league as a legitimate, I think, entering the season championship contender. Right. They're right in the mix with everybody else who wants to call themselves a contender. But it doesn't feel that way because the way they lost down the stretch.
And small moments can do that, right?
Yep.
It can leave a different kind of taste in your mouth. That's for sure.
Yeah, and this is, this is where I think Eeyores are created in sports fandom. These moments, the fear of these moments are where those things are born, because it's hard to enjoy sometimes for some fans any moment. Like Cavs should have been pretty happy up 20 with 7 to go, but the Eeyore is created because the fear of something like that happening, knowing it can happen at any time and alter, like you said, potentially alter a franchise. That idea that the sky could fall at any time overwhelms a lot of sports fans who have a lot of passion for their teams because they fear those moments. And these are the things where Eeyores are created. You'll remember that moment and say, man, I'm always going to worry that this could be happening to us.
There'll be a lot of folks that remember the athletes even say you remember the losses even more than you do the wins. That one sticks with you big time, but it does lend itself to, I know there were a lot of fake trades, and you mentioned Bill Simmons. Him and Zach Lowe sat down and ripped through 20 minutes worth of all the exciting, fun Cleveland offseason content to get into. And I do think a lot of that's back on the table, but like parts of their team played well. Mobley and Allen were really, really good. I thought they feasted inside. They can absolutely get more of that. But when you look back at it, the Knicks are going to say, all right, whenever number 1's on the floor, we know exactly where we have to circle, and the game plan is going to be different. And when you get outscored 44-11 in the final 12 and a half minutes of a game, I mean, that is a choke job of epic proportion.
The saving grace they have is that it happened in game 1, because they do have the ability to totally rewrite the script and change history. Obviously, it's going to be hard now, and sometimes those games do feel like they take the wind out of your sails, but they come back and win game 2, or take a lead. Maybe they find a way to win the series. It would be forgotten. Like you can change that script. this happens later on. If you lose a game like this when you have a chance to clinch or take a 3-2 lead, for instance, it's totally different. But the fact is, it did happen in game one. Like now, so they have to find a way. If you're a Cavs fan, whatever, I'm saying you find a way to get off the mat and try and rewrite history. So they say, you know what, this can't define us. We're not going to let it, because we do have a short memory in sports. Like this could be the worst loss ever if they lose the series for them, or it could be, part of the story of them being able to overcome and adversity and things like that. I mean, there have been, bad game one losses in history that didn't dictate series. And that's the
Bucks had a number of them.
Number of them. Think about the Raptors series. I mean, you talk about, we didn't think much about that Nets series down 2-0. Nope. I don't think anyone thought the Bucks were going to lose that Raptors series after going up 2-0 the way they blew out Toronto in game 2. I remember going on the air and saying
they end up 15 in games 3 and 4.
Great point. I remember going on the air and saying there's nowhere else they can go from here to Toronto. Well, they went to the finals, so I was wrong. So those things can happen. It's a matter of okay, now we'll see what they're made of. All the cliches, but what are they going to do now? And how can the Knicks kind of push back the excitement of thinking we got this when really you have 3 more games to win? There's challenges on both sides now.
Well, the Knicks have had to hear it for the last couple of weeks about how great they are too. I don't know if that's a bad thing. They're going to hear a lot more of it too. They're going to hear a lot more of it too. Well, we all do. We all get to hear more.
Not from Cameron. He's going to keep this foot in their neck, man, and say, "Hey, you're going to disappoint us." So you have to.
Well, I'm glad we do have a rapper to be able to tell us that on sports stuff. And how about a hot take here? And this one is showing how in shambles they might be down on the north side and into Chicago territory. Drew.
Yep.
The Scorer's morning conversation here today. Is it time for Craig Counsell to give Pete Crow Armstrong a day off to mentally reset? Not because of a young lady in a sundress celebrating her engagement. No, because of a routine, and I mean the most routine of routine fly balls that just clanks off my man's glove last night. Drew, even the optimistic part of me, there's no way a scorer on the super special scoring review app that you have, there's no way that gets reviewed, right? So I can throw away that 1.5 total bases ticket for Sal Frelick. That one's not returning.
Yeah, that's not returning.
That was about as bad of a play as you possibly can have.
That was,
and he's struggling right now. He's trying to find something, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was weird. He did get the envelope though. The FedEx envelope with the fine from the Major League Baseball shows up on your locker chair.
There it is.
FedEx from Park Avenue in New York.
We're going to need that direct deposit.
Undisclosed amount for him fined. Knew that was coming because the lady started talking to him and he couldn't help himself. But
I will say I do think his apology was perfectly well said. I apologize for the action. I don't apologize to her. I thought that was maybe my favorite part. He didn't say it. He didn't say it directly. I kind of agree. I don't think you needed to apologize because you're a public figure and it's the right thing to do and you can't cross the line. Understand it 1000%. But I do appreciate it's like I apologize to all the kids that were watching.
Yeah. That was pretty
if
funny.
She's watching, definitely not.
Yeah, I do like that energy, honestly, from PCA. And he's setting himself up to be a really interesting, enigmatic figure in Chicago. Like, he came up with fanfare, kind of underwhelmed, then had the monstrous year last year where everyone fell in love with him because, he had that spirit and he was a really good player, obviously. And he struggled to start the year. And, all I keep hearing about how great of a fielder he is, and he drops a can of corn.
He really is a great fielder.
Maybe he is.
His numbers are phenomenal.
He's elite. He's like the best guy going, and he dropped one. And that swing and a miss against Miz when he went to a kneel and it fell on
almost cracked his ankle.
Holy cow. Yeah, maybe it is time for him to get it. That's funny that the score is talking about that. Give him a day.
Can we get him a day? We got to give him a day. I like that.
If he's a guy that the emotion drives his performance, then I think you have to figure out ways to manage it. Because it sure seems like he's one of those type of guys, like an emotional player.
Well, and I appreciate even more so as we're looking through the first 2 games. And now there's a long way to go, right? Full season series. And I do expect there's a good chance, better than 50-50 chance these 2 teams are playing in the playoffs again. I appreciate Alex Bregman just taking Kyle Tucker's spot as the guy that just right there in the middle of the 3-hole, really, really good against every other team except the Brewers. Let's just hopefully keep that in the spot because Bregman has not necessarily announced his presence in this series quite yet.
It was 54-ish weeks ago. Cubs came to Milwaukee to play the Brewers. And they came for the weekend, and they kind of made themselves comfortable.
Oh, big
Friday night, May 2nd, last year, Cubs 10, Brewers 0.
Feet up, rocking.
Saturday, May 3rd, Cubs 6, Brewers 2.
Why?
And so 16-2 in the first two games,
Yikes.
and it didn't seem that close.
No, it was
I remember
much worse
thinking
than
this is
that.
varsity against the freshmen.
Yeah, that Friday night game was brutal. Was that
And
the
then-
Priester night?
And then the Brewers got up off the deck and won the Sunday game 4-0. The Cubs just kind of punched out, right? Of course, and then the Brewers transformed themselves 3 weeks later and caught fire and won 97 games, and the rest is history. So, again, you can get a little giddy about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
It would be great if the Brewers do wrap up the sweep and go into a nice off day, because it doesn't get any easier. You're playing the Dodgers and the Cardinals.
100%.
Like
out of this.
row. Yeah.
This is the toughest stretch. As we were talking about the Packers schedule, this was the part of the schedule you circled as you're not going to win or lose a division or a playoff spot in May, but you're going to either put yourself behind the 8 ball or know that you're going to be right in the mix with this kind of a run.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking at now. I mean, yeah, the head-to-head games are important for sure, and it's gonna be going on all fall, all summer. I think they're gonna be going back and forth, and you're gonna be following the Cubs. And the Cubs have already had 2 10-game winning streaks, which means they're capable of that. And they're also capable of some shaky play like we've seen in the last week and a half.
And I think the better part of it, Drew, for Brewers fans, because you're right, they've shown they're capable of it. The Brewers now showed that they're capable of going on that sustained run. 15 of their last 20 games winning. That would easily put you 15-5 quickly to the number we've been circling on this show for quite some time. 10 games over 500, the first mark. Once they tasted a little bit of their own blood and got themselves back to 500, it's been a run ever since then.
Andy in West Bend hit us with a hot take earlier today. The Crew better add a proven bat at third and a proven arm, because they can win it all this year.
I love it. I love that we've said this for the last 8 years,
Now,
too. It means we're always in contention.
You can always use bullpen depth, but what do the Brewers really need? Yeah, they need more from the left side of the infield. Is Cooper Pratt the answer? Don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe Jet Williams is. I don't know.
Williams
maybe.
the answer. Maybe
Well,
he'll get a shot. Jet Williams could be this year's Caleb Durbin. It's about this time that Caleb Durbin came on the scene last year.
Yep,
Take
right
a swing.
around.
Arenado, do you want to take a swing? Do the whole Eugenio
No, I've been asking
Suarez
I've
thing?
been asking for Arenado for 4 years now, and I'm done asking for it. I'm done
No, he's
hammering
good.
that nail.
He's good now.
If they can get a Priester, Priester looks like he might be shelved, but Woodruff or Priester, one of those two guys, that would negate. If you get if you get both those guys back, great. But if you get one of them back, kind of negates the urgency for a starter, given the way they are. But you can never have enough pitching, because they can always slide an Ashby up or a Chad Patrick or something. But they've called up guys that have pitched well out of AAA so far this year. So, another bullpen arm, just extend that bullpen, give yourself some coverage, and a bat for the left side of the infield.
I couldn't agree with it more, Drew. It feels like they're 1 to 2 arms short. Now they're going to get a couple of those bullpen arms back, right? You hope. And that might be, even bigger wish casting than bringing somebody up from AAA to hit in the middle of the left side of the infield, because bullpen guys feel like they are Jekyll and Hyde every year, right? You're going to go up and down. There's rarely a reliever that has back-to-back knockout seasons. And the amount of innings you put on the arm of Koenig last year feels like you're paying some of the penance for it. You need 2 arms in the back end, I think, to fully feel solidified rolling forward. Now, can some of those come from within? Sure. I've been being told about Craig Yoho being one of those guys for a couple of years. That would be nice if he was off of the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin injury report, but we'll see. Like they have a couple of guys that internally would be options, but by July, I would anticipate bullpen arm is the one that you circle right near at the top. And I wouldn't be against the highest of the high leverage, right? Like Abner Uribe has been very nice in that role. He's had a couple of hiccups. McGill had a hiccup, but he was an all-star guy a year ago. I wouldn't be against shopping at the highest tier. I know they won't, but they're going to need more help and reinforcements in the pen.
I agree. Yeah.
Absolutely. Dobler coming in with the hot take. I suppose this counts as a hot take. PCA is just another flash in the pan player that's returning to reality. Oh, just like Garrett Mitchell and Keston here. He had to get his daily shot in on Keston. I see what that was about. Okay.
Well, Keston just signed a big deal.
He did in Korea, right?
KBO, baby. Come on now. How about a hot take
there?
Hot take from our friend Ryan in Freedom, who sent in a picture of the championship ring of a Freedom basketball championship. This is the giveaway at tournaments in Freedom. They're cost effective, and take up much less room. Sounds like Ryan and Freedom again is almost more championship ring positive for the young tournaments than negative, like we were maybe anticipating a lot being.
If we make them maybe like challenge coins where they're like, keepsakes, or like pins where they're souvenirs, okay, that's a different story. I was expecting big old Jostens oversized,
That's right.
Cost the parents $250.
Yeah, not that
just
much.
to feel included.
Love it.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, all right, that didn't look so bad.
Before we go to break, Billy, it's time for a little who's hot, who's not. Donovan Jorgensen, heating, cooling, plumbing. I think we don't have to overthink it. Terang and Bowers are hot, and James Harden and the Cavs are not.
James Harden not hot. What also is hot right now is tarps off. Have you guys seen this? The trend is back. It was big going on in college football, where we're just getting sections of youngsters, generally young men around the ages of, it appears, like 10 to 18, that are taking up large sections in the upper levels, ripping the shirt off and waving them around.
We're back.
Now, this was big during college football. I want to say the Washington game, either Washington or Illinois, one of the wins in the month of November. Tarps off hit Camp Randall, and it was a buzz. It was a real deal in the student section, and quickly the security was not allowing people in the normal seats to come into the student section to go tarps off with the boys. If it brings W's, people will continue to do it. However, we might just be a little bit late, guys. We were doing this like 6 months ago. I'm glad baseball is catching on. Who's hot, who's not with Donovan Jorgensen. If you're trying to catch some issues that you got with your heating and cooling this week, up and down, air on, heat on, air on, heat on. If something gets tripped up, Donovan Jorgensen is the hottest number to call. They're the place to go to because they offer some 0% financing with 60 months on select models. They also have a new location opening up in Menominee Falls later this summer. And the best part is, unlike other companies that say they can do plumbing and siding and electrical and your HVAC, no, Donovan Jorgensen is your HVAC leader. They're the largest employee-owned HVAC company in the state of Wisconsin for a reason. Just go to donovanjorgensen.com. and be a one-stop shop.
If I'm not mistaken, Paul Wagner is going to join us next.
Yeah, we're seeing it. It appears that we might be snoozing through that one. So we might have a Wags,
but
we might have a Wags on Friday once again.
Or they might have a big Tom in their sights and they don't want to mess with anything. I saw him and Tasker flashing those turkeys around the other day.
That could be.
Oh, they're showing their birds?
Eric Tasker showed
We'll
me one.
all find out together whether Wags is next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Streaming live, Facebook, X, YouTube. I guess Wags is not going to join the program, but we'll have him Friday.
Yeah,
a little pitching.
He's enjoying the beautiful sights and scenery of Sioux Falls. So, we apologize to him to have to go and enjoy that, and then gets the Kansas City Monarchs over the weekend. So we'll talk to Wags coming up on Friday. But Milwaukee Milkmen also playing some games. Dock Hounds getting back into the swing of things and back into action. There's gonna be a lot of ball in the area this weekend. Brewers off of the series with the Cubs. Good energy to bring the Dodgers in town, and I, for one, Drew, am fired up for this Dodgers series coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it should be a good measuring stick.
If it's play it the same way as last year, you get Cubs right into a Dodgers series, and the Dodgers are, not getting a easy lead in here as they go to San Diego, and they're getting all they can handle from the Padres this weekend. So it's a good dogfight there. And then they come back here, and hopefully no rest for the weary. I'm excited for this weekend at the ballpark. It's gonna be a fun one.
It's been quite a stretch here in terms of opponents. You talk obviously the Yankees series. Brewers had to face the Padres, a very, very good team. Cubs, now Dodgers, and they've acquitted themselves well so far. The Brewers this has been their best stretch so far of the season in this stretch. So yeah, Billy, I totally agree. If you're someone that likes to take their kid out or like to go see stars or go see the rest of the league come out and play, you've had a really good chance to see some great players. Obviously Judge and those guys come in town. Now the Dodgers bring their cavalcade of guys. So still one of the best deals going in terms of entertainment in this town to go to a Brewers game. I'll say that till my ears fall off.
Yeah, and Drew, we were having a conversation yesterday with our friend Wayne Larrabee, the voice of the Green Bay Packers.
I've heard of him. Yes,
and obviously noted Yankee fan, a big fan of him. Not a big fan of their lineup.
He's probably fired up, huh?
We have 4 guys in this lineup that are automatic outs.
Yeah.
What are they even doing?
Every night, automatic out. It was awesome. But
he thinks they're gonna have a tough time making the playoffs. I'm assuming he says it every year.
I don't think he's got him in right now.
This is a tough time. I mean, this is good. They're gonna have a tough time. And Jazz Chisholm is not a real Yankee yet. All right, that's what he likes to say.
The absolute best.
Oh, I love it.
But in the midst of we're talking about Judge, the stars of being like that dude is a superhuman. That guy looks kind of like an alien. Getting your eyes on Shohei Ohtani is something that I still urge everybody to do. He's not playing his best, so actually might be able to catch him on a good week. Might be able to catch him in a good season where he's not just dismantling the entire MLB. But he is a sight to withhold because that dude is just a massive, massive human being and a hell of a ball player. And I'm very excited to see that all-star team roll through here coming up this weekend. And hopefully they drop 2 or 3 and the Brewers come out of this thing winning another series.
What's more exciting, the Dodgers in town wrapping up that series on Sunday or the Memorial Day $1 dollar hot dog game?
That's a tough one.
The dollar hot dog. Now the Brewers have the hot dog club, but Memorial Day dollar hot dogs.
Yeah.
I was talking to a smart, good-looking friend of the program, female listener, who was very excited for hot dog. I'm like, "What's the goal? Are you going to try to get 1 an inning?" She's like,
"She's going to do the 9 and 9."
Not the 9 and 9, not the beer thing, not the JJ Watt, but just hot dog day. And so I'm like, "How many are you going to crush? You going to try for 1 inning?" She goes, "That's pretty much the goal.
Let's ride. That's impressive.
At a time and try to get down 1 an inning."
Because that is the biggest part of it. You cannot do the lead in of I'm just going to get six dogs, bring them over here. Because then you're looking at them and like the feeling of that in front of you, pause.
Yes.
Is going to be a little daunting, right? Because you're just looking at that much sausage, knowing like how on earth am I going to be able to take this down over the next 3 or 4 innings? That's a tough thing to be able to look at.
Tough thing is the lines are going to be long that day. So what do? You have to try and grab said sausage when you can. So how do you do it if you really want to do 9 and 9? You can't go 9 times between every inning.
Yeah, and there's a limit, right? So what's the limit?
Well, that's the other question. Now, doing dollar hot dog day, doing the 9 and 9 challenge was easier when I was in college in like 2003 and 2004. When you did have said sections available, and that's why we were going for that. That was a great time to try and get that done. 9 hot dogs. It's not easy to do, especially if you're throwing the beer in there too. It's a lot of volume. But the challenge is the fun part. So that's going to be a good day to be at the ballpark. I can imagine a lot of people circle that one on their calendar.
I would think so.
I just saw the video of the Inside the Park Grand Slam again. That was against the Mets yesterday. James Wood down 5-0. Mets are leading and beating the brakes off of the Nationals at the moment. Thank you for that. Just killing the Nationals, and all of a sudden James Wood hits a Inside the Park Grand Slam. Nationals end up winning 9-6. That visual of Tyrone Taylor might be one of the funniest things of all time. My man is just looking around saying, damn, that's tough. Guy whose back almost breaks on the wall is like, buddy, we're playing baseball here. Can you go and grab the ball? And flies right past Tyrone Taylor. I know you're surprised to hear this. He was taken out later into the game.
Oh, man.
I don't know if that's I don't know if that was a just a pinch hit situation or that might have been a defensive replacement, as Tyrone Taylor was removed from the ball game last night after that situation for the Mets. That's a tough scene.
Got a text here if you guys want, the NickleyLaw.com talking text line. Great to have them around again, by the way.
Beautiful.
Only Phil, regarding Slippery Pete's error, I love that Slippery Pete's error out there in center field last night. I'd like to give big props to Frelick for never laying off the gas the entire time and earning the double. Can't beat that hustle. It's a great point. We haven't talked about Sal today, but yeah, that was great. I mean,
there's a giveaway looming of the Sal Frelick dirty jersey
with
him the sliding head first, already dirt stain. That's a pretty good giveaway.
One thing it
works out. Yeah, that's a good one.
You can talk about barrel rate and all this stuff, but one thing you can never say about Sal is he's not giving it 100 all the time.
That's true.
We love that about him.
Plays his ass off, no doubt. And he's from the Boston area, and we got breaking news from the airline industry. American Airlines is adding a new nonstop flight from Milwaukee to Boston for the Packers game against New England on November 8th.
Oh, okay.
Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport to Boston Logan International Airport on Saturday, November 7th, with a return flight scheduled for Monday, November 9th. The Packers play that game. It's a 3:25 start at Gillette. So if you're going to go to that, you can't get back in time to fly out Sunday. You pretty much got to hook over the Sunday night. But that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good. Cool. It's good of American Airlines to add that and anticipating more travel to Boston. And, of course, ignoring the fact that they could offer nonstop service to Boston from Milwaukee all the time. But, hey, I guess
nice.
Hey, guys, that's not what we do anymore. Midwest Express days are over, I guess. Boy, that was anyway. I think JetBlue's the other one that does that. So no, that's pretty cool. If you're going out to Boston for the Patriots game in Foxborough, you can I guess fly American Airlines now nonstop.
Yep.
Sure that price is going to be great, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Maybe that will be more of a ticketed game, to a circled one for fans. I didn't think that would be one of the hot road games to go to. However, if you're trying to mark off of see all the NFL stadiums, you only get it once every 8 years generally going out there, so you have to pick some spots for it. But we were looking at it again yesterday. Man, it's New Orleans and then everything else it feels like on the travel schedule. So maybe there will be a lot more Packers fans that go and invade New England. We would like that.
And the other defending AFC champs, but maybe it just doesn't feel that way because the AFC was so upside down last year in the playoffs, where all your stars weren't in there, and
we're all seeing the cupcake.
It was a weird
run
deal
from the Chargers social media video.
Yeah, I mean, be honest with you, I think it's the Vrabel thing is what intrigues people most about the team this year. The fact of the matter is that is what people are talking about when it comes to that. So that might, you're not going to, that's not a reason to go see a game live or travel to see a game to see if Diana's going to be there. But it's just what people are talking about when it comes to the Patriots, right? They're not talking about they were in the Super Bowl and Drake May and things like that.
Will Diana Rossini be at week 1?
I don't know. Are we going to hear from her? Here's a hot take. When are we going to hear from her?
That's not a hot take. That was a question.
Well, I guess that's a question. Yeah. Okay. Hot take. We won't hear from her before the season. I guess it's not a hot take. Will she be at week 1? I don't know. Man,
bet the under.
Yeah, I would too. I think so.
Well, I think she might be there. I bet the under on the NFL showing her. I said that would be one that I don't necessarily agree. However, that would be a beautiful devilish work by the camera producer, just like the guy that was working for ESPN that was able to somehow find a Bella Danger in the crowd. At all of the Miami playoff games. There would be certain ones that you are where's Waldo that you're trying to circle. You're definitely looking for her in the crowd.
But you know what? She's gonna buy a ticket or what? Because she's not there, obviously working. Obviously she.
That's an assumption.
That's an assumption.
Okay, all right. Maybe someone.
We're over 100 days away from the NFL season. She could definitely get hired by somebody.
That's true. I guess it's possible. I assume
she Butt Scratch Sports still hiring?
Maybe. And they're getting the NFL's giving out credentials to anybody. We know that. We saw media day.
That's true.
So, we did. I don't know who half those people were. They don't know who I am. So
they don't know who you are either. Yeah.
Okay, I admit that. So
that's a lie. Everybody knows who Armen Sarian is.
Yeah, right.
That is the lie of all lies. A hot take, Drew, on the Hot Take Hump Day. as Armen let out the Jason Kidd one there in Dallas. Does this takes the Dallas Mavericks out of any conversation running for Giannis Antetokounmpo, or does Jason Kidd find himself a new job where he might be able to reconvene with his old superstar?
That's a good question. Hard to read. I'm not sure.
Masai Ujiri has long been in love with Giannis. We only heard that every single offseason there in Toronto. That he was going to try to lure him there.
He wanted him.
I did think that there was a good sleeping possibility. Everybody was talking about Houston. Why on earth would you not want to go somewhere else with no state income tax? And that could be Dallas, but not so fast, my friend, as Jason Kidd hit the door on the way out.
But I think the Ujiri connection is more impactful there than the Kidd one. Like, there's an assumption that, and because of what Giannis said when Kidd was gone, and there's the report that he tried to save his job, I think he was just a young guy being deferential and processing the change. I'm not convinced he loved Jason Kidd the way some people like it, but of course I'm biased about Jason Kidd as well. So, But the Ujiri one is not out of the realm of possibility. If Ujiri always coveted him, and obviously still does, I would think, now that he's seen what kind of player he's at. You have the young star and Cooper Flag. I mean, anything's possible. I think all possibilities are on deck here. Let's see. We've got a hot take from, this is Steve. Hot take: Jake Bauers will replace Yelich as designated hitter. Your thoughts on that, gentlemen?
No,
he'll replace somebody as the left fielder, right?
Yelich is still the DH, the primary DH.
Yeah,
that's why would you sit Yelich?
But would you find a way to keep Bauers in the lineup, right? He's finding his way into left field a lot more opportunities, right? The thought that you're going to do what you can to have Bauers and Vaughn in the lineup at the same time, that is definitely true. I don't know that it means taking at-bats away from Yelich if he's healthy and able to play. If he's healthy and able to play, you got to maximize that as long as you can, because you don't know what that slippery slope could end up yielding.
Right. Billy, time for our Current Electric Superhero of the Day, brought to us by Current Electric. Call current.com. You see the vans with the superheroes on the side. You see the superheroes inside helping people with their installations and their inspections.
Yeah.
Who's our superhero of the day?
Well, if you're a New York Knick, the superhero was James Harden, because then you could just go right at him. He was a hero on the enemy, because you knew that you were getting a dub every single time you were going at him in the fourth quarter. But it's an easy one. It's a layup. Sorry about it. Maybe it should be harder hitting. It's Jacob Misiorowski. My man threw 74 pitches, 6 innings, 3 hits, 4 over the minimum, 1 walk, and was able to work around an egregious error in the first inning, not let it rattle him, not let the bad mound rattle him. And if 74 pitches is the coast, and this is the way that you manage a little bit more of his innings, Drew, that might even be better, because there's the thought of a young player, and at some particular point, we can't increase his innings too much. We can't increase his pitch count too much. Well, he just gave you 6 efficient innings, gave you a chance to win, got the win, and got up out of there before 75. We like that a lot. We also like Current Electric. We love outdoor lighting in our neighborhoods. You want to be the envy of your neighborhood. Listen, this bad spring weather is getting out of town. It's time to get that backyard ready. Memorial Day weekend is officially the kickoff of patio season. So make sure your outdoor lighting is sublime. And that's what Current Electric is trying to do. They're also going to give you give this month $150 off any outdoor lighting package. $150 off any outdoor lighting package, whether it's keeping your family safe or letting everybody see that great landscaping you did in the backyard, show off that grass that you're cutting every other day, making sure that it is perfect. Slide an extra $150 into your pocket and go to callcurrent.com.
Callcurrent.com. When we come back, closing ceremonies, our wake and bake story, and any loose ends, we will tie up the fastest 3 hours of the day between 5 and 8, right here in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on this hump day in the good land. About to slide down the back of the dinosaur. Go about our Wednesday as you're getting yours started. You can still reach us, 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talking text line. Want to squeeze in a hot take or a thought? Or just wish us well on this Wednesday? In the meantime, we'll occupy ourselves with our Wake and Bake story brought to you by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Rob, Chris, making the great products, CBD, the best, right in Muskego, shipping everywhere in the state. Use the code Huddle for 25% off and free shipping. Get yourself some Drift Seltzer for the Memorial Day weekend. You will not be disappointed. It's a perfect grill caddy, as Billy would say, and it is just a great way to take the edge off. Don't add up the calories of your favorite cocktails. Just throw in one of those and enjoy yourself. Cruise comfortably. Billy, what's our Wake and Bake story today?
Well, I'm stuck in between a couple. I just got bad news. The league meetings are going on in Orlando, and apparently the Vikings co-owner Mark Wilf told their assembled media that they're ready to start their in-person GM interviews. So I guess I didn't get the in-person interview.
Come on.
Got stopped at the phone one.
I thought you were close.
I thought I had a decent chance at this one. I definitely thought that I was getting through on this process. No, today's Wake and Bake story comes from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And not necessarily because Lane Kiffin had the Pardon My Take guys doing hot yoga at 6:30 in the morning before being able to tape the interview with him. What's Will Wade doing? What are they doing in Louisiana? Because what they've now decided to start doing is, Drew, they're just signing NBA players and saying we're gonna figure out in the courts if they're gonna allow these guys to play. To the point where folks like me following On3 right now, the best place in college sports. If you're a college sports fan, you gotta be following On3 because they're giving all this information. Salul Niang was most recently with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was selected 58th overall by the Cavs in the 2025 NBA draft. He just committed to LSU. They also just got a commitment from a youngster that was at St. John's previously, RJ Lewis, who had stops at UMass and St. John's. Then the Jazz and Celtics, and now back apparently in college with LSU. So they're just saying, we're going to figure it out. Will Wade said he was going to follow the rules this time. Last time he was at LSU, got into a lot of hot water, a lot of recruiting violations, had his McNeese State, made that one kid super famous because he was carrying the boombox.
Oh, yeah.
Then went to NC State. Had 1 year there, was like, hey, peace, sorry, I'm out. I'm going back with my my old girlfriend. And Baton Rouge is like, hey, just do whatever you can. Figure it out.
We don't care.
Do whatever you can. We don't care what it looks like. We just hired somebody that was actively trying to win the national title. So we care zero about optics. All we care about is winning. And LSU is like, yeah, but we're going to make them tell these guys that they can't play.
This is so crazy what this is. But the craziest thing about this is probably the first time he's actually followed the rules. Like, there are no rules in this case. Like, in the past, he's definitely broken rules and not cared about it and got in trouble. This time, you can't really say that because, like, there are really no rules right now in college basketball when it comes to signing these guys. I mean, I think they've got to get a waiver from him or they're going to have to appeal. It's not eligibility, but it's not like he's breaking rules by paying guys. You know, that's the weirdest thing about this. So it's just a bizarre time in college athletics. There's no question about it. There's no way around it. It's just, it doesn't look like any semblance of what we think it should look like historically or traditionally.
Grab enough guys from the NBA. Hey, Drew, they can't stop all of them, right?
Can't stop them all. Yeah, we'll slip one through.
If we can get one in here, it'll be better than us.
I don't want to hear any of these players that complain. This is the best time ever to be a pro basketball player. You have so many options to make money. It's just unbelievable. Like, you can be halfway good. You can try the league, not make it, go back and make big money from college teams. You can have them all bid on you, basically. You can cash these checks. What a time to be a college basketball.
I thought it was going to be I thought the best was going to be when they were able to test the market in the NBA and then return to college.
Yeah. Oh, forget
Then they're like, wait,
Billy.
you can actually get drafted, play out, and then go right back.
And guys
see if that works.
And the deals guys are getting now, and the caps and everything else just going up. And man, what a time to be able to just
take advantage and make money wherever you can.
Take advantage
No doubt.
of the desire of these boosters and alumni bases to win so much that you're just going to fleece them.
The other one came to us, and this came in a slight second place, but a very, very worthy participant. The The first 5,000 fans at Sunday's Miami Marlins game are going to get a sweet new souvenir and a new giveaway. And first 5,000 means everyone's going to get one. It's a Marlins game.
Right.
Guys, they have a color changing cup. And
this.
Did you see the video of this where they're showing it in terms of like, Lane and Vinny, their television broadcast does it, where my man pours the drink in to what a white cup would look like with just the old school Florida Marlins logo, which is way better than whatever the Miami Marlins are doing nowadays with their logo. The old school one is phenomenal. And as the liquid, is into the cup, it slowly changes it into the old school Florida Marlins look with a trophy and the 97 championship celebration on it.
Pretty cool.
Wild.
It is an incredible giveaway.
Yeah.
I understand why they're only doing the first 5,000. So congratulations to all Miami Marlins fans going on Sunday. You're going to get one because there's no way there's going to be another 5,000 folks that go there.
It reminds me when the Coors Light Mountains first turned blue when they were cold.
I like
that.
those.
Was exciting. Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. All right. Brewers going for the sweep this evening. That's what we'll be talking about tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yes.
Well,
we will be talking about a sweep tomorrow. You're right, Drew. Yes. Let's go.
As the
on,
quest
Kyle.
for that'd be a great off day, and then head into the Christian Yelich charity event.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we can beach it with Jake Owen tomorrow and talk to our friend Hunter Baumgart tomorrow, which we always do on Thursdays.
Always love it. Always love it. Thank you for hanging out with us today in the huddle. We will see you bright and early at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Peace.